Hello everybody, how are we doing today? And welcome to WardiTV Mondays. How are we doing? How are we feeling? It's edition 35, and we are here once again with the hottest Monday StarCraft 2 action that happens at approximately 1 PM CEST every single week. And we've got ourselves a hell of a bracket. It was not looking so hot until the last 5 minutes or so. Hero, Clem, and MaxPax all signed up at the last second, which obviously increases the way of things a little bit, and yeah, makes that a little bit more of a fun little route. A couple of people questioned the seeding, so I will just explain the seeding right away. That basically top four of last week's Monday are the top 4 seeds. So I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Why is Clem seed 5? Didn't play last week." And no one's noticed that we've done this for quite a while, because the top 4 are usually the same players. So that's basically it. The top 4 are guaranteed top 4 seeds, and then the rest get kind of dragged around a little bit and put in position and stuff like that. So that's all that is. It's just letting you guys know that. There's no Mana vs Lambo first round, guys. I think you're on an old version of the bracket. Give it a refresh. We're going to be going... Sorry, so yeah, give it a refresh. We're going to be going into Scarlett versus Geralt to start the day. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so yes, we're going to be going into Scarlett versus, Geralt. Lambo forfeited as well. I think he sees MaxPax in the second round, decided to play. So yeah. Like I say, give the bracket a refresh and you can see a bit of what's up and what's going on. So yeah, we're gonna get ourselves underway. I already had some subs to shout out and some more coming in, so let's get caught up on those while we wait for our first matches to come around. First of all, Calamity Thrill with the 19-month resub. Keep up the great work, Wardy, my friend. You're an inspiration to anybody that wants to help keep the scene alive and running. A lot of nerds owe you a lot of thanks. Thank you so much for the 19-month resub and the kind words to go with it. Wardy Dad came in, showing you all how it's done with the Prime for 99 months. Guys, if my dad's been able to hit the Prime button for 99 months in a row, you guys can as well. So hit that Prime button up. Marek287 hit us up with the Prime for the 10 months, and Yoku for the 16 months. Thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate it. Alright, we're going to hop to Europe for our opening matchup here. Get that started off. Good job for all the streams. Exciting stuff. Thank you so much, Befilbus, for the 7-month resub as well. Thank you so much, guys. Some sub love at the start of the day. As we will, like I say, hop on over to Europe and get ready for some Geralt versus Scarlett action to start things off. Like I say, it's a fun one to begin with, and we'll see where the bracket takes us as we move on through and we get all running. Perfect. Alright, so yeah, we're going to go into Pylon for map number 1, get this hosted up, and get ready to hop on in. Start us off, like I say, Scarlett vs Geralt to begin with. We've got a stack bracket, we've got Hero. I mean, I'm just running down with you. Scarlett vs Geralt, the winner plays Classic. Showtime is in the next section of the bracket, facing off against Rebellion. The winner of that plays Shin or Estex. That's already a fantastic section, possibly to jump into as well. Basically, the round of 16 games are all going to be good. I mean, round of 16 possibilities include Mana versus Spirit or Nicorite. I'm just picking favorites, so some of these are not guarantees yet. I'm just, presuming Mana is a heavy favorite in his matchup, for example. Clem versus Rex, winner plays Percival or Han Mono. Hero versus Lemon or Young Yakov. Solar versus Naz's Nasty. Creator will play the winner of that as well, most likely. ByuN and Skillus or Nice are likely going to have a meeting as well. And then MaxPax gets a little bit of an easier route because Lambo has dropped down. So that's going to be how it goes. Let's get in game. Let's cast some StarCraft 2 today as we open up with this best of 3 PvZ. As, yeah, we have in the top left-hand corner of the map the green Protoss player. This is going to be Geralt. Did Classic win last week? Yes, he did, and he 3-0'd Hero in the finals to do it as well. So, yeah, Classic coming in with the win. That's why he's got that #1 seed. Like I say, I haven't done this forever in the Mondays with the top 4 getting like a better seed, but like generally I have been like, especially, you know, a lot of the time when I seed MaxPax, Clem, and Hero, I base it around whether which of those guys won last week, who gets the better seed. So we've been doing this for 2 to 3 months right now. Just obviously last week we actually had some very interesting entries into the top 4, so we switched it up a little bit. I would stick with the seed, and it makes the bracket a bit more fun as well, right? Sometimes seeing Clan MaxPax and Hero at the top 3 seeds every single week, you kind of just know what you're getting, so why not just make the bracket look a bit different? It probably ends up in a very similar way anyway, because I think you could fairly say, like, oh, well, maybe instead of, like, you know, this guy being seed 3, that should be MaxPax, and then they could just swap seeds, but then that's kind of roughly the same at the end of the day anyway. It's just the players they play on the way there, so we'll see. Like I say, this is the first week it's really been like a heavy shift up to the point where people are seemingly noticing it, so yeah. Anyways, Geralt in the top left-hand corner, and in the bottom right side, our blue Zerg player is Scarlett, as we get into game #1 of this best of 3. In about 4 minutes, it's walkover time, guys. If I go a little bit quiet or distracted in 4 minutes, it's just because I'm processing a couple of walkovers. Otherwise, let's sit back and enjoy the StarCraft. We've got a bunch of people in-game on this one already, so I don't even have to observe. What a life! Feet up, relaxed positions assembled, and we are going to enjoy this PvZ. Scarlett's, obviously, we've seen her playing in the WardiTV May event yesterday. Yesterday, or was that Coupe? No, she played yesterday, yes. So we have seen Scarlett playing a little bit lately. She's definitely not quite of the form that she used to be, but she's still pretty good. I would absolutely come into this and say that Geralt is a favorite. I actually do think Geralt's playstyle might be favorable to Scarlett if Geralt plays that typical kind of somewhat laid-back style and kind of let Scarlett do her thing a little bit. I think maybe we'll get some intrigue out of that, so we will see what happens as the link speed comes up. Nexus and Stargate coming through. Let me get that underway. Clem with the 5 seed. Well, you know, you take a day off, you're going to lose your top seed, you know? Yeah, I know it's not ideal. I mean, it works because it's been working, because obviously for the majority of the time, everyone's been kind of, you know, signing up and playing each week. I do like having a reason to kind of seed people. Like, usually my seeding is just based on kind of how I feel people are, and, like, it's very biased, so I've, you know, like I say, why not make it so the top 4, at least from the last week, have a little bit of a benefit? And if you win last week, you get the benefit of potentially a higher chance of getting the bye, especially with the number of players we get at the moment. It's quite likely that the first or second places get a bye this week, so that seems to happen quite a lot, so it just kind of works out. And Mana had a hell of a run last week, so now he gets a bit of a better seed, bit of an easier time in the early rounds. He might still get knocked out round 2, because this tournament's very competitive, but honestly, that's okay. You know what's really funny is actually some of my favorite seeding, and this is going to like rile the blood of some people, but some of my favorite seeding was always the Kung Fu Cup seeding, where in the first round sometimes you would have like 2 very good players playing against each other, and in another section of the bracket someone else would just kind of have like a much easier route through to the semifinals. The thing is that when 2 players met each other in that first round, after that first round, typically there would be easier matches after that for them. And what it's obviously not great for the players, because the players would like to get as far as possible, because obviously at least top 4, and so they typically got prize money. But it did mean for us that we got really good matches at the very start of the day. Like the very first match of the day would often be like 2 top-tier Koreans playing each other and so on. And it just meant the entire bracket was always stacked to the brim from start to finish. Like when we did Kung Fu Cup, it was 4 to 5 hours of non-stop great games. Now, obviously, in these Open Cups, we don't have, like, a lot of fodder in the early stages. I mean, Scarlett Geralt as a first-round match is very fun and entertaining. But there is always the times where the first-round match we jump into is very much so someone that's favored against someone that's really not so favored. And even the second-round match is a couple of players that, like, they're good, but maybe they're not kind of the stars of the show. So I always really liked the Kung Fu Cup from a viewer perspective, because we got great games all day long. And, yeah, like I say, for the players, it only really sucked for the guy that kind of lost super early, because then they didn't get to make top 4 before they lost. But at the same time, they also, you know, they lost and they got to go home early as well, right? They were freed up already, so they also didn't have to spend so much time, so... What I mean, get knocked out around 2, that's okay. Hey, I don't know what's going to happen today. I'm not psychic. Prove me wrong, go on another big run. Show the strength of that seed 4, you know. Incredible. Yeah, can't keep players happy. You give them the good seeds and they're just still out here, just unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to tab out to process a walkover quickly. It wasn't directed at you. Like, it's just, you are the oddity in the top 4. You might lose in round 2. It's a competitive tournament. Look, if you don't want to get slandered, then you need to pay the premium package for the seeding, you know? You can't just send $10 for a good seed when it's $20 for a good seed and me not to say anything about it. Oh no, sorry. You're right. I just saw the second payment. Mana is going to stomp this bracket today. Honestly, Seed 4 is too low for him. He got cheesed the hell out last week. It was disgusting. He should have won. And honestly, I blame Protoss. Quite frankly, Protoss once again. They won, but it wasn't Mana's name at the top. What can we say about that apart from PvP is just a cheesy matchup? Unbelievable. These Ling's going to get a good catch and actually going to get rid of a bunch of the Stalkers. So Scarlett going to succeed there. She slows the third base. This is a lot of Lings out early, but... Well, I say early. Apparently in my head, we're 4 minutes in the game. Apparently, we're 7 minutes in the game, guys, because I've just been chatting away to chat and having some fun. So, we are 7 minutes in game, so that's not a third base either. That's a fourth base. Okay, I did not look at the game. I've been completely reading Twitch chat. Like, I really thought that was like the third base location and like the early Lings. Never mind. Third base is up. The fourth base maybe gets denied a little bit as the Lings are going to try and get the probe there once again, and the Oracle's having a little bit of trouble staying around to actually block those Lings away. Let's just see the Archon and the Oracles continuing to gather up and making their way around. So, Lurker coming through Infestation Pit. Scarlett is showing us the intention to go straight into those Lurkers and get that Hive online to get those Lurkers better upgraded as well. Give them as much chance as possible of being successfully kind of annoying in this game and just actually great and useful in all the rest of it. Sleep Beacon coming online, Gateway coming up. It's going to see that charge on the +2 attack upgrade coming in as well. We can see a bunch of additional Hydras coming online. Muscular Augments also coming up. And that +2 missiles starting on the Evolution Chamber as well. Spine's building, Evo Chamber coming through. The Hive is continuing by. 11 additional Hydras coming online for the moment. Just going to see the Lings going to run straight through there. Going to go for the wraparound, get rid of a couple of Zealots. I do feel like Scarlett's been very switched on at the start of this game. She's been able to really... again, play a lot of, you know, good solid openings. So, I mean, look what she's lost. She lost a lot of Lings, yes, but no drones lost, so no harassment taken. Resources lost in her favor, and now Ling Hydra out on the map. Hive on the way up, ready to go into Lurkers. Like, okay, Geralt is moving into those Tempests already. But as he moves into those Tempests, Scarlett is going to have access to, like I say, a lot of the tech that she needs to kind of stay strong in this game. As Ling Hydra will continue to gather together. Lurkers continuing through. Hive coming up, Overlord's on the way. Melee upgrade and missiles continuing by as well. See even more cannons with stack defense coming up atop of that base. There's a few Zerglings running around over to that right-hand side. 11 Lurkers continue to build, and that is going to be, I mean, our first real kind of additional tech up from Scarlett, but she's still got upgrades coming in for those Lurkers that we're likely going to want to wait for before we try and do too much with them. Those Lings run headfirst into the stasis ward, so I mean, at least they pop it, right? Lurkers coming across, Zerglings coming through. We've seen another storm coming down on a couple of Lurkers at the front, so it's going to get that going. The Lurker's going to fire a few shots once again. Lurker's going to fire, a couple of cannons taking shots, storm coming down as well. You're not going to be seeing those Hydras still stepping on through, so again, trying to just see what is going on. Tempest getting pushed back. +2 missiles coming about, melee upgrade coming by. Hydras continue to build. Still got that Spire coming up as well as a couple more storms come through at the moment. This is a nice push. I mean, obviously these Tempests will be able to start clearing up in the skies. Do we have any more Hydras arriving to help out with those? Because if you could just get underneath them with a few Hydras, those Tempests are not going to last too long either. Currently really just missing the detection as... a few Hydras showing up, some Lings as well. Again, can we jump on top of these Tempests? We do not really have enough right now. We don't have the lunge yet either, right? So the Hydras would really benefit from that. One of the ways in which you've seen Hydras really be able to jump on top of Tempest lately is when they have that lunge, and so they can lunge underneath, they can get underneath very quickly, and just get straight into position in terms of dealing some damage and putting some work in. storms. Ooh, running back through the storm as well is not ideal, but we do have units elsewhere. Scarlett is just spread across all the bases of Geralt, dealing an absolute ton of damage right now. Nidus is going to pop up, going to come straight through. A couple more storms come down. Hydras and Lurkers taking shots. I mean, obviously, storms are nice. The High Templar are really putting the work in and staying alive as well, importantly. Obviously, you lose those, and that could be pretty rough as the Zealots continue to move up as well. So I got that Mothership and 2 more Tempests on the way out. Tempests are going to go back in, pick away at the Hydras once again. Again, +3 missiles. Adrenal glands continue to come about. Fire attack upgrade coming through. The additional Hydras. Lings and Hydras still stepping forward. There's the dive. I'm scared about this dive because obviously there was a lot of other units there, but the Lings are doing a good job of keeping everything back. Again, just got that Nexus coming through. The extra Hydra's coming about. Still got the +3 missiles. The Carapace building. Hydra's on the way. And Hydra's just going to continue to step forward. There goes the pylon. +3 missiles and the Carapace coming up. We'll see ourselves. I mean, Geralt's obviously being pushed back repeatedly, but what I will say is that Geralt's continuing to maintain a good, strong kind of set of tech units. These Hydra's going to lunge forward again, try and take this fight. No storms left on that left side. Hydra's on the right side are going to escape away, so going to be able to kite out of there. And a couple more Tempest shots. Hydra's taking shots again. We lunge backward once more. Still got the +3 missiles. Still got the Carapace coming up. 62 extra Lings in production. Scarlett's still just trying to keep the pressure going. My only concern is, does Scarlett have much of a future in this game beyond this kind of army? I mean, we do have the Spire up and upgrades coming in. She has denied Geralt to 3 bases, so maybe I don't even need to worry about what is kind of next for her. Maybe she's already got that in store. Corruptors, and then we just play kind of Corrupt the Lurker. It's been very powerful lately, and I mean, right now, Ling's going to flood into the natural and main base, so Geralt has to go and deal with that problem as well. Probes are going to start dropping. Hydras are still on the right side. Scarlett truly is all over these bases. And like I say, I really feel like Geralt's style of just sitting back and like giving Scarlett time, no damage done early, really has allowed kind of Scarlett to come into her element and do exactly what she wants to do with these armies, which is be very scrappy and take the fight into her own hands, take the multitasking into her own hands, and Scarlett gets away with a 1-0 lead at the start of the day. So Scarlett with a 1-0 advantage as we take this lead. And we are going to run with it. So Scarlett with the 1-0 edge, as I think we're hopping over to NA for game number 2. So we're going to hop on over there. And yeah, I think they're playing EU East EU, which is just a little bit annoying. I'm going to change the rules to be East EU EU, because otherwise we just hop back and forth. It doesn't matter when it's like Central West Central, right? And we're already on America, but like hopping, actually like changing servers between America and EU is a little bit annoying. So yeah, awesome. Scarlett taking the first map of the day, guys. How about that? Gonna run some ads just as we're early, just make sure we stay clear of any possible overlap in game. We're going to be going to Ultra Love here for this game number 2 as Scarlett takes the 1-0 lead. Yeah, Zerg player playing the game. It's lovely, isn't it? We actually have a few Zergs signed up today. We obviously have ourselves Shin, Solar in the bracket as well, hoping for some good runs out of some of these guys so you can see some Zerg players deeper in the tournament. Mana playing Spirit in the second round, so Mana Spirit will be starting up very shortly. We'll be getting that underway as well. Man, you know what? Over the weekend, we had some really great matches between a bunch of the European players. I'm super excited for the European League now. This is probably going to sound really funny, but the European League is a tournament which I've been thinking about what to do format-wise, and I've been not quite convinced about what to do. But after seeing some games this weekend, I really feel as though we're going to have a really fun time if we just do a big European League, big like Swiss bracket. Because I even feel like those lower down matches are going to be a ton of fun. So yeah, I'm super looking forward to that. As we'll head into Ultra Love here in the next couple of moments. We look to get this started up and underway, as we have got in the bottom left-hand corner. The red Protoss player down a game and looking to bounce back will be Geralt. In the top right, taking the 1-0 lead, is going to be our Zerg player Scarlett. So it was great to see her starting to kind of show up again and playing some events and actually showing up for an Open Monday Cup. Love it. Obviously, everyone is practicing with some bigger events on the horizon. It does seem like a bunch of them are going to be attending those, so looking forward to seeing them all partake in those over the next few weeks. Of course, we got Dallas coming up. There's going to be Home Story. There's Star of Zagora. There's qualifiers for EWC. We'll obviously sneak a few WardiTV tournaments in here and there where we can. Maybe Geralt overinvested into static. I think Geralt typically has this thing where he techs up very heavily, and because he was teching so heavily, I think there is just a world in which you're still not on the ideal. Like, Tempests are great, but actually Scarlett played with a lot of Hydras, and because the Storms never really connected, those Hydras were able to deal with the Tempest, and then the Lurkers, it was just the split, right? And I think Geralt's tech was getting there, but the quantity of the tech was not really there. And Scarlett just did a great job of kind of picking them apart left and right, and making sure that that army had to keep on ping-ponging one way than the other, so I think there was a little bit of that in it as well. Like I say, I think Scarlett left to her own devices is scary, which would mean to me, is Geralt, step up a little bit, be a bit more aggressive with those oracles, get them on the map and try and get some damage done, poke away for some drones, try and slow the Zerg a little bit early, maybe a follow-up which does not just throw you into all of the tech in the world, and instead you actually get the Blink Stalkers out on the map and you try and poke around with those as well, so maybe that would be fun. Sorry, I lose my voice apparently. God, that's not a good sign, is it? Lose my voice on the second game of the day? Ooh. That's gonna be a long-ass day if we got no voice. You're gonna have to do some sign language casting. Jeez. Is anyone else's Twitch chat freaking out? Mine is not. Don't know what to tell you. Maybe, I mean, I presume you've already tried to refresh, but I'm not sure. Twitch chat is like a kind of like almost like a certain part of the Twitch page as well. So it might be like if you have a certain extension on it, might be affecting it, or it might just be a bit buggy right now as well. It might just affect some people but not others, depending on what browser you use as well. I mean, this is just a small little streaming website, guys. It's just for streaming video games. No one really takes it that serious, you know. So you can't expect everything to work all the time. Let's be realistic. Expecting everything to work all the time, like, oof, who do we think we are? Like, a couple of adepts gonna go shading about. The queen is gonna be there, hitting those adepts back the other direction. Again, just gonna see that link speed coming through. Queen on the way as we get set up, and yeah, Twilight Council coming through. The Nexus building, a couple probes in the warp gate coming up as well. Have ourselves the Oracle, going to take a little bit of damage. The Queen's going to get there. Actually going to place onto the third base. Twilight Council coming through. Nexus coming up. And a couple of Adepts are going to go shading about elsewhere as well. So just trying to see what else they can get up to here. As those Zerglings will gather. Oracle going to activate into the main base. Going to go and get rid of a creep teamer there. Then a few Adepts going to continue to shade around for the moment. This few Zerglings going to get down to the bottom side. Adept's going to get fully jumped on as well. It's just going to get that grab. Pulse around. These Zerglings going to get nabbed by the Oracle too, so the Oracle's continue to push those Lings away. Resonating Glaive's coming up. I like it from Geralt. Something a little different. If Scarlett tries to go Ling Hydra quickly, Lings and Hydras, guess what? Both die to Adepts. Well, they both take bonus damage from Adepts. They don't always die, depends on the numbers, but there's a much better chance that you die playing Ling Hydra than playing any sort of a Roach style and so on. Stalker just going to ping this over. Building that Phoenix again. Geralt built a Phoenix last game as well. Run it forward as too. I think Glaive's about to finish. Just going to be seeing the melee upgrade continuing about. A few Zerglings on the way through. Drones on the lag coming up as well. And yeah, just going to be seeing that Forge, Adept, Probes, Warp Gate, Resonating Glaives continue to come by. And Dev's going to shade. Obviously, Glaive's finishing Road Draw on the way from Scarlett, but I mean, halfway to the Road Draw on finishing, we're going to be a little ways away from that really kind of coming into play, right? As one queen goes down, the Oracle's going to dive in overhead. The Zergling's going to come back around as well. Second queen going down. That queen's still trying to chase the Oracle away as the Zerglings wrap around for a little bit, and we continue to do what we can. Those Adepts continue to fall. Adepts, Oracle coming about. The Lings get the cleanup. Scarlett is going to defend. So what did we lose here? 5 queens. We got rid of one of the Oracles at least. Very few Lings went down, though, in fairness, right? So that's actually kind of nice. Obviously, the queen's going down is pretty rough, but we're going to build 4 at a time. Was that every single queen? Wow, no queen left on the map. We're going to rebuild 4, and we're going to get the Overlord speed started as well. So, see what the follow-up is. Obviously, kind of interesting, though, because it's so rare to see somebody lose all of their queens, but actually not lose too many of the other units. I actually don't really quite know what to make of that, to be honest. It's a little bit of a unique situation, as the Phoenix is going to whack away, and that Overlord will continue to take some damage. Drop Lord's coming up, and Overlord speed coming by. A few extra Zerglings on the way, the Queen on the way through. Got that being brought up. He has the Adept Stalkers and a couple of Oracles overhead. Continue to step on through the middle of the map, heading to that upper right-hand side. Lings and Ravagers and the Queen coming up. +1 and Blink on the way. Temple Archives being added. The Lings is going to go for a massive wraparound here. Oracles will activate. Queen's trying to step up to help. The Adept will commit to their shade where there's already other Lings to grab them. We'll see. Continued very good defense here from Scarlett. Just doing a great job of shutting Geralt down in these early stages and keeping herself in an absolutely fantastic position so far. Lings and Ravagers just going to come running up this ramp. We are going to see ourselves the Gateway taking a few hits already, so some shots coming around. We continue to just brute force our way through and try and make our way into this natural expansion. So in we go. Force field comes down to block the Lings out a little bit. Ravager's still going to be on that low ground. A couple of Stalkers hitting the Overlord for a few moments as well. Lings break into the main, and that's actually a big deal because now Geralt has to defend across so many different places. Scarlett throwing a few corrosive vials down, trying to knock down the cannon. The Lings in the main being dealt with by some Zealots. We'll see how that ends up. I feel like Scarlett's actually running out of units at the front here to keep on pushing through. Her supply is waning, and that is looking as though Geralt might just have a defense in here. Some of that stack defense really did stand strong and do a lot for him. The Zealots continue to come through, being great tanks in this scenario as well, able to really hold on and do a lot of those, if they keep alive. Yeah, Scarlett's supply is indeed dropping. This attack across the map is not working out, and it looks as though Geralt will have the defense that will secure him. Potentially a second game of this series then, and obviously a third map now will be on the horizon, because that is a rough spot for Scarlett. Down in workers, down in army, not really much tech on the field. This attack looked hopeful, and breaking into the main, I thought that was a good chance, but Geralt honestly dealt with every position very well. Having this stack defense in place to help secure the third base especially was very good, because that meant that he did not have to worry so much in that regard as well. So definitely a lot of positives there, as we'll see the Void Rage is going to get the Creep Tumor. And yeah, +2 attack, Storm, Charge, continue to come online for the moment. They see the Lings going to show up and go after a couple of those probes, spawn the Queen. Going to hit the Oracle, and Oracle actually going to go down. It's a mistake from Geralt. Scarlett does a rebuff her supply with a round of Hydras. She did get the drone count of 2. My only okay, so against a lot of pros, I think Scarlett would be in trouble. I do wonder, does Geralt just sit back though? Because if Geralt just sits back here and waits too long, then Scarlett might be able to recover as though nothing ever happened, right? Like the Hydra den's up, the Hydra upgrade's coming through. It is only Roach Hydra. We're not kind of on the precipice of lurkers or anything, right? Like we were in the last game, so it's obviously not quite as teched up as she'd like to be, but it feels like a more reasonable chance for Scarlett than she should maybe have based on what we've seen so far. Now that depends to Scarlett. If Scarlett keeps on attacking, I'm not sure if I love that. She's going to find those Zealots without charge currently. The charge just finished up. You got to jump on a few of them. They're actually going to pull back. And with Stormers nearby, it's probably not worth Scarlett continuing to commit, although she is splitting up to maybe fight on 2 different sides again, similar to the last game. Plus some missiles, the group of spines coming up. Lings and Hydras just going to knock their way through a set of rocks, open up that right-hand side. Try and fight. Those Hydras putting some work in. Just going to be seeing the Roach Hydra on the left side, going to pull back a little bit. Couple High Templars ready there with the Storms. Again, the Hydra's on the right side. Is that splitting action that Geralt has to go for. And Scarlett actually looks like she's going to win out on the left-hand side already. On the right side, I was going to say, we're waiting on the Storms side. I've not seen one drop. Finally, some drop down, but the Hydra's actually surviving. That's a lot of DPS that remains. The next Storm was pretty good. Like I say, Scarlett kind of won on the left-hand side. 25 probes already going down. I think she is running out of units for the moment, but the amount of damage she just dealt, very good chance that she rebuilds and has a lot of success again in the future. As yeah, 25 probes killed is a pretty serious number, and Geralt lost a lot of his tech units there as well. He's coming back over again. Still going to get jumped on. Just a flood of Lings right now. I actually like it because she got rid of a lot of the techier units, right? So the Storms aren't there to really stop the Lings super quickly. And right now you see Lings actually getting on top of these Stalkers, which is not exactly ideal. Pull back with a few more units. Just going to get those out of there. And again, 13 additional Hydras, 18 additional Hydras continue to come about for now. I'm just setting up the Changeling and go moving through. And the +2 missiles, Hydras in the Hive, continue to come online. Cannon, probes, all coming over. And the 2 Head Templar joining up as we try and resettle and rebuild the tech. Scarlett's going to be maxed soon. I love the Drop Lord's going to try and keep this busy and kind of all over. Hive coming up for her. She gets into some better tech as well. Notably, obviously, the Mothership on the way from Geralt, so he starts to improve his tech a little bit too. Can't kind of go fully into like Tempest and stuff as easily as usual because obviously he lost a lot of his High Templars, so has to spend a good amount of money replacing those to start off with. Everything's going to get caught in a stasis ward. Hydras come through, another Storm coming about. Hydras are going to try and run up this ramp, but I mean, you've got to be super careful and respectful of the Storms. Like I say, the Lings in the main are going to act as a distraction, going to actually get the Temple Archive so we can stop new High Templar from being walked in. Ultra Cavern coming up from Scarlett too as she looks to mix up her army tech away from just playing Hydra. Not going to get to the Lurkers this time around. He's going to fight. He's going to see that Stasis Ward coming down. He's going to see the Storm coming in as well. Like I say, the Storm's going to be a great thing to keep these Hydras back. That's why the Ultras are going to be really nice, right? Lings dropping by. Forge going to be taking damage. Maybe seen that Forge is going to get taken down, so those Ling drops will continue to find some success. The High Templars are flanking that army over here, though. Those are going to be some big Storms as they just go all over the Hydras and chase up. A beautiful move. By sending the High Templars specifically around that direction, it was able to cut off, like I say, and really make a difference. Really nicely done. Scarlett losing some drones as well. She will start a rebuild, but she needs to get an army right now that can actually fight against this. I guess that's where the Ultras come into play. Loses one base, already has other bases top left. The Storm coming down, a couple of High Templars coming through. Again, Ultra's coming about as well. There's catching. Obviously, these Ultras just going to try and brute force their way. They don't care as much about the Storms, so then you need some of the more powerful units. And that's something which Geralt is kind of missing. These Ultras might just steamroll through at the moment. There's like one Archon. There's no Immortals, right? Yeah, there's none of the bigger, chunkier units that are meant to be really good against the Ultras. This has been a very Storm-based defense, and I mean, the High Templars are running up right now. If I see this as Scarlett, I'm like, okay, I'll come chomp your High Templars. You can storm these Ultras all you like. Oh my god. The High Templars, what were they thinking? Trying to run up over here like they owned this house. They didn't realize these were Ultralisks? I'm just pulling back. Zealots taking some shots. We are going to see the Ultras continue to come through. Probes dead, and Scarlett's going to bring this game back. Wow, from a failed attack that she had on the kind of an all-in attack as well. It was kind of a weird one, like it was a counter, but she definitely lost a lot. She came out down in supply, and now she knocks the 3rd and 4th base down of Geralt. The only thing she might just need is a Spire just to clean up the Tempest count a little bit. And at this point, I'd imagine she could afford it with 82 drones and the entire map starting to be covered in creep and bases as well. Just 3 missiles plus 2 Carapace continue to come about. The Temple Archives coming up as well right here. Let's have ourselves the Feelings, the Ultra, and so continuing about. Just going to open up that set of rocks again. Potential to move down to that bottom left-hand side. A few more Archons coming up right here. As Geralt tries to find a final defense in this game to keep him alive, but the reality probably is that this is going to be a very, I want to say one-sided fight. I don't think, I mean, the Archon's obviously going to help against the Ultras a bit more, but then the Archons are not great against the Hydras. Now you've got really no Storms left. Okay, there's a couple Storms in the background. Yes, High Templar already has to drop the Storm down, and it actually dies to the splash. The Ultras alone will solo the ground army, and now we just have to fight the Tempests. And Geralt will not make Scarlett do that, as GG gets called, and Scarlett will take the 2-0 to move on through into the next round. Scarlett taking out Geralt will play against Classic, which is a matchup we actually saw yesterday, and will be a bit of a rematch there for us. A lot of the other matches actually already underway, guys. Solar Creator underway. Showtime Shin underway. I think that's going to be fun, although we will see that matchup tomorrow as well in the WardiTV May Group D. Mana Scarlet, Clem Percival. Sorry, Mana Spirit, Clem Percival. Heroes waiting for Lemon and Young Yakov to finish. Solar Creator I mentioned. ByuN Nice have already started. Nice 2-0 Skillers. Ay. I think let's just go Scarlett versus Geralt. Sorry, Scarlett versus Classic. Yeah, I think let's just go into Scarlett versus Classic. It gives us a matchup that's pretty much ready to go straight away. It is a rematch of yesterday, and Classic looked pretty good there, but yeah, I think I like that a lot more than just kind of hopping into something else that's kind of part way through. Kind of looking at maybe like ByuN MaxPax round of 8 if we can get there in time for that after this series as well. So how does that sound to you guys? Let me know what you guys are thinking. I think it's a pretty reasonable idea, though. I kind of like it. Alright, let me throw some ads up. Yeah, we'll go Scarlet versus Classic, guys. I think it just makes sense. Alright guys, so we'll just take a moment or two and wait for the lobby to come up. Why are you guys fighting? I don't even know. Chill out. I'll just time has run out. Tomorrow's group's gonna be MaxPax, Solo, Shin, Showtime. Yes. $6.99 subs. I don't have a Prime for Wardy's Doggo. Yes, please subscribe. Doggo needs treats. It's not updated on Wikipedia yet. Well, that's because I haven't told anyone to update it yet. I only figured it out recently. Do the sellout audio clip? Great idea. Have you heard of Twitch Prime? You can support the stream right now with Twitch Prime. Don't forget to also follow the stream, subscribe to me on YouTube, give me money on Patreon, donate directly, and cheer in the chat. And don't forget to gift all those subs so we can hit that level 5 hype train. And don't forget that we have the 2025 series crowdfunder ongoing as well, so you can exclamation mark 2025 and also support the 2025 series on the Indiegogo page. Would really appreciate that too, guys. Is everything I do about the money? Sudden realization comes over. I still don't even know what's going on in chat. Are we just fighting for the sake of fighting? Okay, I see someone just trying to cause trouble. Easy fix. Alright. Discussing who is right. You can discuss who's right without calling people low test and shouting about it non-stop. Ay. This chat looks woefully passive. Yeah, the YouTube chat usually is very quiet. The YouTube viewers don't understand the concept of interacting with the stream, you know? They just sit there and they're like, ooh, a live chat? That's terrifying, you know? Yeah, the YouTube chat is... I mean, to be fair, Twitch chat sometimes is very passive as well. It just depends on the day and who's chatting and who has stuff to chat about. It only takes a couple of people talking to kind of really get chat to, like, liven up a bunch. Wardy hosting chat 1v1s when? Yeah, next time we have some downtime, maybe that's the content we need. It's all started with an all-in versus counter-attack discussion. A classic. Yo, Scorpion, thank you so much for gifting a sub. I'm going out to Lord Ike. Thank you so much for the generosity of gifting a sub. Really appreciate it. We made it. We made it at 700. You know what the scam is? I bet by the time we come out the next game, it's at 699 again. Unbelievable. Back to 700. We did it, guys. It said it couldn't be done. But yet, here we are. Unsub and put it down to 699. Joke's on you, it doesn't count as an unsub until your sub's up. Alright, we're gonna get into Scarlett vs. Classic, guys. Like I say, a little bit of a rematch from yesterday. Gotta wait 9 days. Well, in 9 days, you'll have got him. In 9 days, you'll show us all who's boss with that unsub. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for May 21st. Okay, May 21st. Am I even here May 21st? Why am I on May 21st? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21? No, I actually think I'm not here on May 20th. No. No, that's Dallas. That's Dallas weekend. I'm like a week ahead in my head. Okay, let's go into this. Let's get this going. In the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player is going to be Classic. Taking on the red Zerg in the bottom left-hand side, Scarlett. Yesterday, Classic was able to really shut down some of Scarlett's aggression. We'll see what it looks like today as we get into this. So, yeah, a little bit of a rematch from yesterday. Obviously going to pin Classic as a favorite. Classic is the defending champion of the WardiTV Mondays. Can he keep himself going in the round of 16 today? What do you think, guys? What do we think? Oh yeah, been a while since we watched Scarlett play. Yeah, it's been really nice to watch some of her games lately. We had a full group with her yesterday. She was just played a series just now as well, so if you missed those, definitely some games for you to catch up on. VODs available on Twitch and YouTube. Again, everything goes onto the YouTube nowadays, guys. Do just want to take a quick mention to... yeah, obviously if you don't check out the YouTube, but you kind of enjoy the stream and stuff, every stream is on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube, go to our lives, and just watch back every stream. So if you miss a stream and you want to catch up, it's there in YouTube format. I know the YouTube VODs are typically way better than the Twitch VODs, so you can catch up on everything just like that. So do check out the YouTube if you do enjoy it and you want to check that out. Again, !YT in the Twitch chat will take you over to the YouTube. And if you get there, do click the subscribe button. I really, 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 really want to try and get us to like 50,000 YouTube subscribers this year. And I really think that's possible. Like, we're not on track for it right now. I really think it's possible if we tell people to keep doing it and we get some of the people from Twitch to go over and subscribe as well. I really think it's possible. I really do, so go give it some love. As yo, Staff7, thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. I appreciate it. We exist. Yes, I know you guys exist on YouTube. I appreciate y'all tuning in over there. You guys are awesome. Yeah. Hit that like button if you watch on the YouTube stream as well. Also goes a long way. As we get ourselves set on up. A couple of Lings are going to go nibbling up at a probe for a few moments. Just going to chase that around. Ling speed coming about. The Adept and Stargate coming through. We get ourselves settled. Warp Gate on the way. Just get that all going as the Stargate and the Adept continue to come on by. YouTube is 90% work from home programmers. Yeah. Well, you know, honestly, I don't mind what you guys are. The fact that you guys are tuning in, even if you... I don't need you guys to talk. Like, it's nice to talk sometimes when there's downtime. It's good to interact with chat, but I just appreciate you guys showing up, putting the stream on, watching in the background and stuff. Those views go a long way. That's the part of the reason why we can keep on running so much StarCraft. So go check it out. Wardy is the coolest. Wow, I've gone from being super cool to the coolest. I don't know if that's a downgrade or an upgrade. Because, like, the coolest is the coolest of cools. But what if it's the coolest out of not very many people? Is that even super cool anymore? Oof. Lings, Queen, Overlord continue to come about right here. I'm just going to have the Oracle and the Warp Gate coming up for the moment. As we have ourselves a couple of Queens, going to throw some injects down on this natural hatchery. We definitely know what Scarlett's game plan is. A lot of Hydra Ling into Lurk if we can get there. Pretty aggressive off that kind of a style. That has been kind of her MO over the last few days already, so... It's going to see the Oracle is going to be chased away. A couple of Queens going to whack away on that. And the Adept's going to take some damage as well. So Adept's taking a few shots, getting poked away to the sides. The Twilight Council still very much so coming up and running here for the moment. As again, our Nexus is coming through. The drones are building. And we get settled into play. That's a little revelation. Creep Tumor falls. Twilight Council, Nexus, and the Adepts still want to bring themselves up right here. Get 4 Overlords on the way for Scarlett to get out of this supply block over the next few moments. Again, Nexus and Twilight Council building. The Feelings are going to try and threaten. I mean, they're getting a little bit of damage on the Adepts. The Oracle's out of position, so Classic has to pull those back home. They lost the Adept, and we're going to lose the Pylon on the third base at the very least, it would seem. Oracles will activate. We actually cancelled the Warp in with that as well, which is kind of nice. Going to delay that by a few seconds. Because these things here killed the Adept on the front as well, and they're going to threaten to kill this Pylon. But they're now going to get locked in, and they will go down. To be fair, I don't think Scarlett expected those to do anything more than what they already did. That was already a very successful set of Lings. As the Blink has started for Classic in the main. A few Lings showing up on the third again, but they shouldn't do much. I'm not sure why Scarlett's there with them, really. I mean, there's 5 Lings were never going to do much apart from give a couple of their numbers up, right? Link building, gates in the forge coming online. Just going to be seeing the lair coming through, the hatch and the Evo chamber coming up. The Lings will try and fight as the Adepts continue to fly away back to the other side. And as you ever see, these Adepts from Classic going to step across the map and a little check to see if Scarlett has units out to really deal with those or not, because well, that could be a little bit of an awkward problem here over these next few moments if you don't have anything ready to go. Yeah, these Adepts could do a lot more than you're really expecting. They get a couple of drones already, going to threaten the Shade, forces the drones to run away. 3 drones killed. And yeah, just no damage output. An Oracle got a Stay Sword in the natural too, so that's some good damage. We're now at 4 kills. The Feelings are going to show up. We're going to just target fire drones and get up to 7. And Scarlett, yeah, taking a lot of worker damage. And this is the difference that we never really saw happening in the games with Scarlett versus Geralt. Geralt did not do drone damage in those games. Whereas Classic finding moments and opportunities here. That's one of the downsides of giving up some of your early Lings. Those Adepts do get a bit more presence on the map, and the ability to kind of come over forces more Lings out of you, and if you don't have them ready, those Adepts can be extremely successful. So Scarlett takes a little bit of a beating this time around. As the Blink about to finish, the +1 attack upgrade continuing through. Temple Archives, Gateway, and the Nexus all coming up as well. Add that Infestation Pit on. +1 missile upgrade building 2. And there's the setup continuing in. Definitely a strong start from Classic, and now the Stalkers are on the map. And like I say, it's just such a different vibe to the Scarlett versus Geralt games. This is nothing but the Protoss, being aggressive and making use of his early units. And Scarlett taking damage across the way, kind of getting there. Not going to get up to her unit counts very comfortably or easily, and definitely not going to take control of this map like she was taking control in the games against Geralt. So, it's a nice counterattack, but there's an Oracle that pulls back, and that will deal with these Lings. Even if we force the probes to run away for a little bit. I mean, they run to a 4th base that has static defense on it, so these Lings will not really find all that much. The Classic's defense is solid, absolutely what he needs at the moment. Storm finishing soon, charge. On the way, halfway done, +1 attack coming up. Lurker Den building, Hive in production. Hive is still coming through, +2 missiles coming out. And again, the Musco Augment still building into play. Lurker Den is going to be halfway done. Hive halfway done. Stalkers get through, that Queen goes down. It's going to see a couple of those creep teamers still getting picked away at. A couple more of those creep teamers getting knocked down right now as the Hive and the Lurker Den continue to get built up just for the moment. Hydra's still in production, +2 missiles on the way. This army just heading down this bottom side. Queens, Hydras, drones. Gonna come about there. A little storm gonna force the Hydras to split about a little bit. A couple more Hydras continue to get stormed just for the moment. Templars keep on storming away as the Stalkers and the Archons, the High Templars gather up. Gonna turn around, get rid of a few more of those Zerglings, and we knock those down as well. Another couple of storms, and the Hydra's still taking damage. Stargate and Fleet Beacon building up 7 additional Zealots, plus 2 attack upgrade. Again, Ling Hydra, Seismic Splines all continuing to battle as the Hydras continuing to step on forward. So Scarlett on a bit of a push and a shove. Can she keep it going? That's going to be the big question mark, and it honestly feels so difficult to expect her to be able to kind of keep going in these scenarios as well. And those Hydras still gathering, the Queens join up. Fleet Beacon and the Stargate continue through 2 for the moment as the extra Zealots coming about, the Archon coming in, plus 2 attack upgrade. About halfway done as well currently, as you just see those Lurkers continuing to morph. Stay morph on up. Again, the Nidus Network, the Lings, the Hydras, a bit of everything continuing through for the moment. And we just have ourselves a plus 2 missile upgrade still very much so on its way by. Seismic Spine is going to be a part of that as we nudge our way forward with a couple of units. Continue to try and see where we go. Storms coming about. Hydras and the Lurkers still gathering through. Just gonna be some Lurkers firing from afar. Nexus gonna be right there. As the Lings are gonna run up. A couple of storms coming down. Zealots will be making that a very easy defense. I was gonna say this does not look pretty for Scarlett. She to storm on the Hydras, especially. Lurker's going to try and burrow up, but there is an observer there. With the Lurkers taking so much damage, they do not last very long, so Scarlett is going to be in trouble as Classic continues to poke on forward. The Zealots keep coming, the Hydra's taking damage, a couple more shots coming over for the moment as well. Just be seeing a couple of those drones still dropping on down. Zealots still going after the Hydralisks. And yeah, those Tempests are going to put some work in. Scarlett says, G, 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 G. All the G's. And we are going to go to game 2 with Classic leading 1-0. Fortunately, guys, the round of 8 I was looking at is already going to be starting up. ByuN versus MaxPax will get going very shortly, it seems. So, unfortunately, we'll miss out on that one. Solo gets knocked out by Creator, so Creator gets 2-0. Hero's going to be playing Yakov, winner of that plays Creator. So we'll be checking in on that part in a little bit. We'll go into Classic. And Scarlett game 2. Mana with the 2-0 over Spirit does not get knocked out in round 2. That's what I'm talking about with my top 4 seed. Let's go, Mana. Gonna play Clem now. See how that turns out as well. This top side of the bracket might be one of the more interesting ones. Yeah, I'm not sure where we're gonna end up or where we're gonna get to in the end. I guess we'll keep our eyes open and try and spot. I guess we'll see where when this series ends and kind of where we're at after this series. Give us a pretty good indicator of what to maybe hop into and what to pass next, because right now I'm not too sure. Like, the round of 8's going to be underway and stuff. So I just hoping Scarlett would do better. It's just that early damage. You can see how good she can be against, like, Geralt when that damage doesn't come through. But stopping that early damage and just being on top of it, like, Classic is just getting the little things which make big impacts go his way at the moment. So, definitely makes this quite a difficult experience. As he is going to take the 1-0 lead. In the top right corner of the map, our blue Protoss player is indeed Classic. Taking on the red Zerg in the bottom left corner of the map, we have Scarlett. Classic looking really strong, even when GSL qualifying got seeded into second group stage. Yeah, no, Classic. You know what? Classic continues to look really good until he doesn't. Like, Classic has this real consistency problem. I think Classic at his best can challenge, like, the top few guys right now very constantly. But Classic does not constantly play at that level. Like, he hits that level a lot. But there's a lot of days where he just whiffs, you know, and it is not his day and he just drops down. Like, he failed to get out of the group yesterday, right? In the WardiTV May event. Like, those results are the kind of ones where it's like, you kind of get reminded about who Classic really is. And then Classic has another really good day, and you're like, oh my god, Classic's so freaking good, I'm surprised. It's like, well, should I be surprised? Like, he's done this before, and the next day he's just not quite the same level again, right? That he really has that broad band of kind of style or level he can play at. There's a very broad band as the Nexus going through, the hatch gas and pool coming up, drone on the way out, next in the Cybercore building in for the early stages. Just got ourselves settled for a few moments. We're going to move out onto the map. It's going to be having ourselves a couple of lings going to get chased across Stargate building. Access on the way through. Probably adept, warp gate, all continuing by. Let's just have ourselves the link speed continuing up for the moment. So Lex is going to get in position. Link speed coming through. The drone's on the way out. Yeah, that probe is going to get chased down to the bottom side. Entry builds into the center. And the drone gonna take some damage, so already Scarlett having to try and save herself, her workers super early on in this game. The aggression begins real early this time around. Once again, that link speed starting up. Drone's on the way through, Overlord coming up. We have ourselves the warp gate and the Oracle and the Adept continuing by as well. Oracle still producing through. Again, that link speed finishing shortly. Queen and the Overlord coming about. Hatchery still coming by. The Oracle heading out down to the bottom left-hand corner. Just for the moment. A couple of Queens and the Lings all coming through. The Adepts are going to ping their way around as well for a moment or so. Down a Cryptumor there. Again, the Adept and the Twilight Council still coming about. Nexus on the way through. A couple of probes are coming over as well. Adepts continue to move around for now as the Oracle gets set up. 14 Zerglings in production. Drones coming by. A couple of Adepts warp in. Queens will be there. Just gonna push the Oracles around a little bit. The Zerglings continue up toward the top side. And again, Twilight Council finishing. Nexus over halfway done for now. Battery on the way through too. Oracle activating again. A couple of those Greek teamers getting picked away at. Just going to see the blink coming about. Nexus still coming online. Just going to be seeing the Lings going to run forward. Sentry and the Stalker continue to gather. There is the battery on the way up too, as the Oracles are going to activate and go after a couple of those drones. 6, 7 workers going down immediately. Queens get rid of the Oracle, so that will die. Again, the Forge coming online. Probes coming up. Blink coming through. Plus 1 attack upgrade coming about as well. See the Rotron and everything else continuing to settle in. Overload speed building for the moment. Just going to see our melee upgrade coming about. It's going to be seeing the Rotron coming through, the Hatch coming online. This is going to go try and grab the Proby. The Oracle going to sit overhead. Again, the Adepts and the Stalkers gather, plus 1 and Blink coming online. 6 extra gateways coming through at the moment as the Siblet is built. And again, let's have ourselves the Queen sitting out the front. 4th Hatchery coming down out to the bottom side. With the Oracle poking and prodding for a couple of bits of damage. Battle Archives still building on through. Again, the +1 attack and the charge continue to get building. It's going to be seeing our melee upgrade coming up. Overlord speed obviously is done for a while, so with that drop load building as well, full on aggression mode from Scarlett is going to start out. She's going to find different ways to try and get damage done here. So, see what goes on. As the drop lords load up, and the Stalkers are already arriving, so they kind of need this is getting interesting because obviously Stalkers are arriving to attack at the same time. Scarlett's readying herself to go across the map, and yeah, it definitely gets a little awkward just for a moment or two. Storm and Charge both coming online. We do see a good warping of Zealots and Stalkers in the main mineral line. A few Lings begin to unload into mineral line as well. Those Lings continue out after a bunch of those Stalkers. This is all going to help a lot. Group Tumor dropping down out of the Overlords. I mean, this is all about the army supply advantage from Scarlett, and obviously hitting before charge and Storm is done is a pretty big deal. Man, that Stay Sword is just holding up so many of the Lings, though. Talk about buying yourself time. Those Lings, obviously, just not having to be dealt with right now. So much damage missed out on those Stalkers. Scarlett's army supply is okay-ish for the moment, but I'm not sure how long it's really going to last for. Already a little bit unhopeful for it, because the battery count is obviously huge up here. She is going to go diving up the left side, and she is going to just miss the damage needed to knock those batteries down. To really do with kind of finishing those off so that they don't get their healing off. But yeah, both those batteries actually get all of their energy used. And Scarlett is going to get cleaned up as Classic shuts this down and looks very comfortable in the defense to take a game 2 and a series and move on in to the round of 8. Alright, ByuN is in game for about 6 minutes against MaxPax, so Classic advances to play against either Shin or SHOWTIME. That's still ongoing. Trader is waiting for Hero or Yakov. That's obviously likely a PvP. Mana versus Clem is some TvP. I think Classic Shin would be cool if Shin comes out ahead of SHOWTIME. I think we will just take whichever game comes about soonest, guys. Whatever comes out of game is just ready. I think we'll just go for, because I'm not much in the mood for kind of picking and choosing and waiting around. I think we'll just go for, like I say, whatever comes about. Probably makes sense. There's a ByuN MaxPax game. Perfect. Let's jump into that. Try and double check the score here. 0-1. MaxPax leads the game against ByuN. Perfect. Let's just go straight into this then, guys. That's our next little bit of action. Perfecto. Can we redo this classic best of 3? Yeah, let me just put an official admin statement out that this best of 3 must be replayed for purposes. Alright, let's go into Tokamak. Let's get this ready. Let's get this going. As we have ourselves our game number 2 here between these two guys. So in the bottom left, down in game is going to be the blue Terran player ByuN, taking on the red Protoss in the top right-hand corner. We have ourselves MaxPax. Game 2 of the series as we set this up and get this underway, and we'll look to see what is going to happen as our keeper comes about. Probe in the pylon coming online. Here in this round of 8 matchup. Speeding through the day. I'm going to be in the semifinals in no time at this rate. Absolutely speeding through the day so far. Hopefully some good semis or so. Give us a few more rounds of action, a couple more hours at least. Should be good. Should be fine. Probe comes in, gonna nibble at the SCV for a little bit, so some damage being done there. Let's just have ourselves the gateway, the barracks coming up. SCV on the way out initially as well. Probe gets pushed back the other direction. And that Reaper will be starting with the orbital command building as well. Getting that up and rolling. And next, the Cybercore building, the orbital and the factory coming up, the Reaper coming through. Not sure what happened in the first game. It was about 8 minutes long, so it wasn't a super long game between these guys. They had been in game for about 6 minutes when I checked, and then about 2 minutes later they came out. So we're talking about like 8 to 10 minutes. Obviously, it's not always super accurate looking at your friends' list and how long people have been in game for, but looking at like an 8 or 10 minute game that these two have played. Guns are coming about, probes coming up, Warpgate coming over, and let's just see the Reaper and the Adept continue to move around for a few moments. Again, a couple of Reapers building through, the CC coming online, Hellion coming up, and the Adept coming down to the bottom left-hand side. And the Adept just going to go shading. As the Adept is going to get in, and SCV in some trouble. The Reaper and the Hellion will have to save it, and that Adept should fall here. Question is, do we save everything else? And yes, we do. That Reaper pulls back nicely. SCV does live, so just had to run away for a while. And obviously, good scout for the Adept because it sees 2 more Reapers. So you get the idea, like, okay, ByuN, you are coming across the map with some aggressive units. That lets me know a little bit about kind of, what to expect in these next few moments, and lets me know where a lot of your early gas is going. That's 150 gas on Reapers, so that's 100 gas more than usual. And that obviously slows down some of the other parts of this game and other possibilities. As we just full wall here, it's obviously a very safe and defensive way to go about it. There's not much hope hopping the Reapers to the high ground. That's fully walled anyway, so there's no real access point here for ByuN. He's just going to kind of be happy to kind of keep his opponent pinned in. There's no super fast third base coming down during this time. Actually going to dive the Stalker here, and we will get a Stalker kill. Cost to your Reaper, but hey, a Stalker is a much more valuable unit because the Stalker is meant to be useful as the game continues. You see that Blink upgrade coming up? It's Stalkers that use it, so every Stalker you lose out on right now is one less unit to make use of the upgrade you're investing into right now. One more Reaper going down, but still just trading out units, getting the Adept there. As the 2 Reapers and the Hellion are going to get rid of the probe, and now the 2 Hellions just going to dive by, but there's plenty of Stalkers. I think we're going to see that this is... one more probe is actually pretty nice. I think that was the probe that was trying to head across to the third base already, so hey, we got a little bit more of a delay. It's going to be reasonable. X goes down, so that third base gets started up. Forge going to go down behind the mineral line. A couple Stalkers will start. Observer on the way up. Forge and the Nexus continue to build. Probes coming through. The barracks building as well from ByuN right now. That refinery still very much so on the way as well. Tank and a couple Marines added alongside everything else. As a point of promotion, Zerg Pros who beat Zerg should have to win the best of 3 twice to advance. Yeah. That'd be nice. Try and keep our Zergs alive a little bit longer, wouldn't it? There's so few of them. Okay, how about this? Every Zerg can actually enter the tournament twice. So Zerg players get to appear twice in the bracket, and then we get more Zerg games. It'll cause some admin delays, but what's better? Having more Zergs available in the top 4? Or a little bit of a delay in the tournament, SCV's gathering, +1 the charge coming about, Stim combat +1 coming through. So our Stalkers will move forward as the siege tank is going to be whacking away, so the Stalkers will take some damage. Hits coming by for the moment. When they meet themselves in the bracket, perfect, we get a Zerg in the next round. Then we catch back up on time because they don't have to play, and we just get a Zerg in the next round already. It's perfect. And who are we kidding? You think a Zerg player is going to win enough matches in the bracket to meet themselves? Let's be realistic here. That's never going to happen. You guys think I haven't thought this through? I'm natural with these ideas. Bunker loads up, few Marines jumping in against Impact. Combat Shield and the +1 attack upgrade continue to build in as the Medivacs and Marauders and Widow Mines come through on the side of ByuN as well. We had a Robo Bay on the Probe and the Immortal. +1 attack upgrade continuing through. Just a couple of siege tanks are going to step forward themselves and settle themselves down to the side if they want to do anything. A couple of shots onto some Stalkers initially. And again, Stimpack Combat and +1 all continues to come about for the moment. Fire will fight, tanks are going to fire. Stalker gets annihilated once again. ByuN still just gathering up on those rocks. Colossus coming out as obviously ByuN is shifting across the map with a sizable force, so Colossus is going to be an important part of that defense. A couple of units already in position to deal with the prisms. That's nicely done by ByuN. Yeah, he really needs to succeed right here, and honestly his army is set up to succeed. His force fields are nice, going to trap some of the bio units in there with the zealots. We evacuate the medevac. Tank's got a good few shots off. They are going to have to step up a little bit though and get in further, get in better range to try and hit the Colossus. I do feel that this was like, it was okay for ByuN, but it's going to kind of stop it being kind of just okay. He lost 8 SCVs. Finally, MaxPax is just going to go for it. Doesn't even need ByuN to be unsieged. There's the tanks trying to do their thing. Took a long time to get rid of that Immortal. Tries to target the Stalkers. I mean, honestly, it was okay for ByuN. The problem is, he's down 15 workers, down a base, and he's looking to win the game with this attack. And that was not the fight that wins you a game, you know? It's not the sort of attack that wins you the game at all, unfortunately. Medevac's building, Maroon Marauder +1 armor coming about. Just going to see ourselves the +2 attack, and the extended thermal lance coming online, the Colossus and the Sentry coming up and online as well. And a Nexus on. And a couple of Marauders and Medevacs very much so still producing through for the moment. An orbital morphing in, Zealot Stalker coming down the bottom side. Stalker's going to get hit by the Bio Army, and again, these few Zealots are going to try and make a little bit of a charge forward. It's going to lift up, the Medevac can unload back on the other side, a couple of force fields right there. And a couple of Vikings coming about, and the Ghost Academy going to finish very soon as some Widow Mine's actually not going to get to fire. And as they unburrow, the Zealots will drop back down and try and kill them. Oh my goodness. Yeah, beautiful dodging. Micro is right there for MaxPax. He is having a great game, and obviously it seems as though it's been a great series. We didn't get to catch game 1, but this game 2 is kind of as convincing as it gets, so definitely tells you a lot of what's likely been going on here. As the game's going to kind of roll about to a big favoring for the Protoss. Here we go. Zealots, Colossus, Stalkers all attacking through. Colossus from the back going to start coming across as well. Stalker step up, actually going to get rid of a Viking nice and quickly. This is a nice grab. Just to get a KO on that. And ByuN just does not have enough to stick around. MaxPax gets the GG out of the Terran player. And that is going to be ByuN tapping in the round of 8 today. So MaxPax into the top 4. Recovery from last week's loss in the top 8 to Mana. It's so funny that it really does seem as though the biggest downward kind of trend for MaxPax lately has been his PvP, which is the matchup that we've done nothing but praise him for like multiple years. Shin Showtime goes 2-1, so Shin and Classic are going to play. I wonder if we can catch that still. It depends how long ago they finished up that previous match. It's not a super long game, so there's a chance we maybe catch it. And try and hop onto career and see if we can get in game on that one. Oh, god damn it. If I don't get into this game by a second, it's because of the freaking lobby bug, the login bug. There's again, I think I mistyped my password. No, no, logging in. Praying. Hey, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it into Shin Classic. Perfect. Alright. So we'll get those guys into play in a second here. And yeah, we'll go Shin Classic round of 8, and then we'll be able to go into the semis after. Perfect. That actually works out nicely. Perfecto. I like it. Alright, I just run some ads just to keep them at bay. Classic and Shin are vetoing. Perfecto. Awesome. Alright, we're going to get into this PvZ then, guys. MaxPax our first semi-finals of the day. Clan playing Mana. They will play the winner of this series. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Looking good. Do 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 do. Yeah, Classic and Shin video, guys. So we should be into that in just a couple of moments. And we'll continue our way through this WardiTV Monday, edition 35. And thank you for joining us. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you for joining. Awesome. Hero and Creator are playing as well. They've been in game a couple of minutes, so that's the quarterfinal that would lead into the versus MaxPax semi-final. Guys, I feel like we can just cut this discussion short. MaxPax is absolutely a professional player. He he makes a lot of money out of StarCraft. You don't have to play offline to be professional. You can be full-time and only play online tournaments. In fact, if we're going to argue that, then we've had no professional players for the last 8 months because we've had no offline tournaments for 8 months. You see how stupid that sounds? Cool. So yeah. I think we can call him a pro player. What about Epic LAN? Well, you know, we're talking about tournaments that these guys have a chance to win. There's no point saying MaxPax, no point saying Clem and Hero could have gone to Epic LAN because, they would have just gotten beaten down anyway, so they may as well just stayed online. So, yeah. Everyone knows the UK competition's too tough for these guys, hence they don't show up. It's just typical knowledge. Geralt's the only pro player in this tourney, yeah. There you go. 2020 and 2021 also like professional players. Yeah. Just show his face in his name, so should you. How about every time you guys participate in Twitch chat, you have to give up a piece of identification about yourselves? You know? It's not fair to me as the streamer to not know you guys on a personal level when you're talking to me. Ay. I'm in a feisty mood today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm ready to fight back. I am the dog, woof. No way. Is that Ellie's Twitch account? Holy crap. Counting down, as you guys can hear, PvZ. Fresh best of 3 here between Classic and Shin. And kick this off and see what's going to happen. I chose violence today. Yeah. I woke up and I chose violence. I guess we are going to be going to pile on here in a moment or two. Let's get this going. In the bottom right hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Protoss player. This is Classic. Taking on the red Zerg in the top left corner of the map, we have ourselves Shin. So, best of 3 PvZ here. Get this underway. Sorry guys, sorting something out on the other screen for a moment or two. As we get into this and we see what Shin and Classic are going to get up to here in the round of 8 of the WardiTV Mondays 35. Hatchgas and Pool coming up next, and the gateway coming online. We get this settled in for a couple of moments here, and we just have ourselves the early couple of minutes. Not really looking too crazy. We've seen Classic able to obviously be very good offensively and aggressively in the early stages of the game, so no surprises on that one. As this drone pulls up, my probe is going to take some damage. It's going to run around in a couple of circles. And just got this underway. Still drones coming about, probe moving over. Next in the cyber core getting by. I see the adept chrono boosting for a few moments as well. Kind of cheering on Shin. Classic won last week. It'd be nice to see a Zerg in the top 4 as well. Nice that we get to see Shin in this series right now, though. Obviously, again, just took out Showtime 2-1. Never an easy matchup. I'm actually really looking forward to that match tomorrow. Again, Showtime going to be taking the 4th place in the Group D of WardiTV May. So we'll be having Shin, Showtime, Solar, and MaxPax as a combination of players that we can look forward to watching tomorrow. I'll have a match order for that on Wikipedia soon enough as well. So you guys can look forward to all of that. Stargate coming through. It's going to see the Queen there, going to whack away at the Adept for a couple of moments. Has some damage being dealt in the early stages. Nothing too crazy just yet, though, as we have a couple of Queens, a few Zerglings, all coming about for the moment. We get that on the way. Oracle on the Warp Gate, the Adept as well, continue to come through just for the moment. And a couple of Queens gathering. The Adept's going to threaten the Shade, but the link count is good enough to say to those Adepts, no, you should not shade in over here. Oracle coming about, Warp Gate still coming through, a few extra drones coming about right now as well. And a couple of devs negotiating about. Oracle still sitting overhead for now. Gathering up at the moment. Twilight Council and the Forge both going to get placed in. Well, that's a couple of Queens and the drones all coming up. Twilight Council and the Forge coming by. The Nexus on the way through. The Oracle's just going to drop a little Revelation down as the Adepts go after a couple of those Crypt Humors so far. Adepts going to shade. The Oracle's still chilling overhead. Forge and the Nexus coming about. The Probes are coming by. Just see the Ling is going to run across, and the Adepts going to cancel up that shade for the moment. So just going to bring that back. Queen's going to be there, and the Oracle's, again, just going to take some damage and pushed around a little. +1 on the Blink still coming through on the side of Classic. Overlord's building, allowing the drone still coming online. And again, a couple of Queens just going to go fighting, a couple of Adepts take damage as well. We all can see the Lings running in and actually being able to... I mean, the Adept's going to shade to the high ground. It's going to be a problem, no? We're going to see a few of these drones going down. Shin is going to take some serious damage here. He's also making so many Zerglings to try and clean this up, which is eaten into what could have been future drones. He's got some drones in the production tab now, but... Well, this is looking as though Classic is obviously doing some significant damage early on, putting him into a good spot here right off the bat. And already, Shin is down in workers. Gonna try and counterattack the Lings. There's not a lot of units up right now for Classic, obviously, because he gave those Adepts up to do this damage, so maybe that's an opportunity, but the Oracle's back there, so will not happen. And, yeah, +1 Blink still coming through. Temple Archives coming up. What's up, TWS 3000? Thanks so much for the 7-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Missile upgrade coming through. Additional Zerglings coming about. Overlords and the Hydra then coming up and online as well. Still got the Temple Archives coming online. Again, Gateway, Blink, and +1 building up for the moment. Stalkers is warping in onto that third base. The Lings are going to get there and going to get a little wrap around. A couple of those Stalkers already going down. That Blink and that +1 both still coming up. We're going to have +1 missiles and the Groove Spines on the way. So we're getting ourselves some better upgrades brought into play. +2 attacking the Storm. Add the charge on into there as well. And get all of that coming on through. Storm still Chrono boosting by as well, just for the moment. I mean, Classic just obviously very comfortably able to move up into this next stage of the game. No issues for him just yet. Again, the +2 and the Storm both coming online. The charge coming up as well. Blizzard's coming about. I was going to say, they don't have charge yet, but that's clearly known because they've got charge in the upgrade tab, so... Charge is on its way. That's the most important thing to take note of here, because you kind of need that charge upgrade if you want to have a good time continuing through. We're actually going to see the recoil having to come down. Nice catch with the Ling Hydra. And until Storm is up, this army of the Protoss is a little bit flimsy and whimsical. So, a few moments here of danger. And if we can just hold on to this as Classic, or during this as Classic, this is great. Because there's tech coming up, yes, from Shin, but he's sitting on 66 drones. So he's not looking to really saturate a fourth or anything. He is looking to kind of sit on 66 drones and push an attack right now. And as Bane Speed comes in and Hydra Speed comes in, then brilliant. Those are nice additions. But yeah, the economy is not there to play a longer game with, so Classic just needs to hang on in there. He had a great start to this game. I mean, he's already got Storm done. That is a major help. He's got a couple High Templars available with energy. He actually morphs 2 in the front there into an Archon, which I don't hate either. Archons and splash damage is also still going to be good against a lot of these Lings that are going to run through. They're going to be great at cleaning up some of the Lings that are hurt off the back of Storms. I do not love how far forward Classic is running right now, though. Him attacking into this is truly asking for trouble. I mean, he's obviously confident because he's got the army composition, but he just doesn't have the numbers to be out aggressively on the map, and he's going to morph in Archons here. The problem is he does not have a good answer to the Hydras that are left over, and this is just truly Classic's fault. He's attacking into a 66 drone Zerg. There was no need to. He did not have the info to recognize that there just wasn't an economy on this fourth base. And so he went for the attack in that, like I say, was just completely unrequired of him. And it's going to be quite costly in the end of the day. King Hydra's still coming through. Just going to step across. A couple of those Zelds going to get jumped on. The Storm coming down again. A few more Hydras getting clipped. With the Storm coming through. And we're just going to see GG getting called. Shin is going to take game 1 of this best of 3. As Classic had zero reason to attack off such a great early game. He just felt he could go, but Shin was not being greedy. He was not being the kind of like, let's macro, let's kind of play the late game Zerg. He was playing in the moment. He was ready to attack, and Classic attacked into him. And that just gave, you know, because Classic was still setting up for the future way more than Shin was. I mean, that Protoss army is just not meant to be on the map in that moment. And there was no reinforcements or warp-ins available either, so it was just a complete overconfident push. A completely overconfident push, completely unnecessary. I'm hosting game number 2, guys. I'm just going to run some ads just in case we have a longer game here. Just would rather be safe than sorry. Run them across the start of the game then later on. Alright, gonna get into Ultra Love here in just a couple of moments. Get this set up, and into game we go. In the bottom left-hand side, down a game, his own mistake. And that last one, it is Classic. In the top right, our red Zerg is going to be Shin. Game 2 of our best of 3 as we kick off, get going, see what's going to happen. Ultra Love, obviously, the map that came in from the last time. Okay, coming through, probe going, similar being added on. And probe just nibbling about, dealing some damage. That's the Overlord getting down to the bottom left-hand side. Let's see Cervical coming up, next coming through. The Queen's the Overlord coming about. This target going to be coming up here from Classic as well. That's Stargate building. Depth going through. Warpgate coming up. Thanks for coming in as well. What's up, Shepard PHX? Thank you so much for the 8-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. You're doing great. Thank you so much for resubscribing. Thank you so much for supporting today. Thank you so much. Oracle and the Warp Gate continue to come through. The link speed is coming up. As you just see, the couple Overlords and the Lings continue to get into play for the moment. You have a couple of Adepts just going to step up the ramp, see what's up, try and commit to that Shade, but the circling is there, so again, the early Adepts kind of get turned away. This was true in the last game as well. It was the later wave of Adepts that really found the damage. Why is everyone streaming the same game? I think a lot of people just came out of other games, and this was the game that was starting. So we came out of a series, we came out of ByuN MaxPax, and so we joined this, and then a lot of people were streaming Shin versus SHOWTIME. So they were obviously ready to go into this one as well. So there's only like 2 or 3 matches happening right now, which means that there's obviously going to be the majority of people in the same game. In fact, there might only be 1 match going right now if the other matches are finished up as well, so... And obviously, a lot of people don't bother streaming PvPs or mirror matchups over the other matchups as well. It's kind of wild, but you get less viewers streaming a PvP than streaming a PvZ that someone else is streaming. It's just the way it is. So yeah. Mirror matchups do be like that, you know. Oracle going to activate through as a few drones go down. We're just going to have ourselves Twilight Council and Nexus continue to come about for the moment. Few drones dropping. Gates in the Forge of the Twilight coming up as well. Gonna see the Adepts coming about. Again, Oracle coming through. Again, Adepts going to set up the Creep Team are going to take some damage. See that stays forward, coming back around. It's going to be seeing the lane going to get caught, the drone going to get captured as well. The Adept's going to continue to step on forward. First should be building Spire on the way. That's coming up. And those few lings is going to go and jump onto the cooling tower here. Seeing the ling's going to knock that down. Obviously, just close off an area towards one of your bases. One less position for the pros to push on into. One unblink beginning to come about as well, so you're just going to see the Stalkers able to be on the map shortly, and Classic will be able to start putting some pressure on. Things run by, the Depth's going to fight, Ling's going to actually escape over the sides, a few Stalkers setting up, Roach is going to step through as well. Roach is going to get caught, the Stalker's still going to be there. The +1 in the Storm coming about, charge coming over, extra gates coming up. Again, Roaches and Queens just going to push the Oracle back away for the moment, so... Again, +1 going to be coming through very shortly here, so you get that Forge upgrade completed and a Storm done as well. Classic is kind of back to where we were at last game. Only he didn't kill 10 drones early on this time around. So that's been pretty good for him resources lost-wise. See the Mutas coming up from Shin, so a completely different vibe from him as he's going to go into those Mutas and take control of that. Storm coming down. Feeling is going to be shot at. The Muta's going to come down the left-hand side. It's going to be seeing the Storms coming about. The Roaches and the Ravagers taking hits. Another Storm coming down. A lot of those Roaches taking shots. And it's going to be seeing the Archons. Going to be a little bit of trouble. The Roach is still chasing. The Stalkers continue to come through. The Muta's going to get in. So actually going to be a pretty good sequence of events here from Shin, because now nothing's back at home here from Classic, who once again is just caught out on the map, pushing when he really should not be. The Mutas are going to arrive, and again, just a lack of information from Classic. Stalker shooting, Mutas getting chased. Stalker's blinking, Mutas taking some more hits once again. Just going to be seeing the melee upgrade and the Bane speed coming online. You see the Roach Ravager going to knock down this set of rocks. Yeah, still moving about, +2 attack coming over. Next to Stalkers coming in, cannon online shortly. The Storm coming through. Just gonna see the Crows of Vars continue to drop down onto the rocks. The extra Banes coming about as well. We just have ourselves the Stalker stepping through, Roach Ravager coming over. Mobiles coming in. Just seeing the Stalkers still warping in here, and this is going to be Classic at least pushing back this portion of the army of Shin, so we're going to be able to shove this part back if nothing else. +2 attack is about to finish. The extra probes coming online, still got the melee upgrade, Roachling Bane building as well. A couple High Templars are gathering as the Lings morph into Banes. And Shin, Ellie. God damn it, it's so loud. Not only did she bark loud, but it comes through my headphones really loud when she barks. I can hear myself. So, and just, that was piercing. Oof. Yo, Farron Brago, thank you so much for the 7-month resub on the Prime. "20 probes lost, no problem for Protoss." Yes, Classic is definitely not feeling the pain of losing those 20 probes at all. He is absolutely fine with having lost them. He doesn't care. Protoss is truly overpowered. You know what? Shin should have just saved these Beons instead of killing those 20 probes as well. Yeah. If you don't win the game off of doing one bit of damage, is it even worth continuing to play the game? That's a good question, isn't it? Stalkers do a lot of tanking on these Balins here. I mean, Shin actually did good damage, but he does not have an army to fight that amount of Stalkers. The Storms are good as well. And so Shin is kind of in a little bit of trouble because he's just whacking away with low-tech units at the front there. And that was just an entire army fight with like a low-tech army versus other units. Versus Stalkers and Storms. And that's not kind of the fight you're meant to win as a Zerg. So yeah, that was like, this is the sort of fight which you're meant to happen if you're like splitting up and kind of being all over the place and you've got the Protoss army kind of drawn thinly out and so on. Then it looks a whole lot better for you. As the Ling Roach Bane force comes back around, a few more Banes morphing in. We're going to move back around the other side. Bane Roach Ravager gathering up as well. Just going to be seeing the +3. The Immortal still coming through. Cannons coming up. Entire force setting up again. Just gonna have ourselves the couple Light Templar coming about. And Shin gonna get going down the left-hand side once more. Away we go. The Ling is starting to chase through. The Stalkers and the Archons coming back over. You see the +1 air weapons coming about, +3 attack. Another run by into the mineral line. 10 probes going down. Storm coming down, Ling Bane going to be taking damage, Roaches and the Banes continue through. Units coming in from both sides. Going to be pretty powerful as the flank looks good, but Shin's army is just disappearing. Man, his army is just not good at all. He just never got off of Roach Ling Bane. Have to play with the mutas. There's a lot of success for him initially, but like I say, just the army comp was not there to fight against the later army composition at Classic. And Classic will tie this up 1-1 in the best of 3. And we'll be going to a game 3 here with Shin. Jeez. This game was painful to watch. This game was a bit painful to watch, wasn't it? Yeah. I love the part where I was memeing a little bit about the 20 probes, and then Shin actually continued to just lose his entire army, and I was like, this was not a good game to meme about. Should have stayed a professional caster. Should have stayed professional, should have just gone with it. Aye, aye, aye. It's true, Protoss is broken, guys. It's the only explanation I have anymore. Countdown begins. And get ready to dive into game 3 of this series. So into Magnatha we go. And it's Shin and Classic. Settle this down. And we decide who's going to advance through to the top 4. Man, it is just upset day. So, the results that have come through so far, by the way, Creator, 2-0 Hero, so Creator will play MaxPax in the top 4 on the bottom semifinal. Mana, 2-1 Clem, and we'll play Classic or Shin in the top 4. How about that for a couple of results? Pretty crazy stuff right there. All right, well, you guys, everyone's like, "Well, Wardy, what's this seeding?" Meanwhile, Mana, number 4 seed, takes out Clem, number 5 seed. I had it right all along, guys. I think Mana actually took my joke about him getting knocked out second round kind of personally, huh? Jeez. My goodness. Alright. Apparently today's just gonna get crazy. PvP final confirmed. Not if Shin can win against Classic. Maybe Shin can power through. Come on, Shin. I'm sorry, Classic, but I've got to be super biased against you at this point because, yeah. I mean, we need a Zerg. We need a non-Protoss in the top 4. My viewership... my viewership is on the shoulders of this Zerg player right here. Please, Shin. Do it for the ad revenue. Shin. Come on. Alright. Let's see what happens on Maganath. This map feels pretty darn big. Pretty hefty. Trying to set up Cybercore and the Nexus coming through. Again, hatch gas in the pool coming about. Similar's going through, Cybercore coming up. We got ourselves a couple of Queens and Zerglings on the way by right now as well. It's just going to get that straight on the way through. As we have our Nexus and the Probe coming on and about. Probe checking over, stepping across. Collection is similar to Classic with large variability in results. Can be great, can be not. Yeah, the Shin went from... Shin also has that inconsistency again lately, right? Agree. Target coming through, a couple of probes, the Adept and the Warp Gate coming about as well. Just going to be having the Ling speed still building, a couple of Lings and the Queen coming about, Hatchery coming through. That Stargate will finish very shortly. Let's get ourselves a couple of moments of being built on up here. With the Adept coming across the map to start poking in for some pressure. Adept gonna shade. And the Oracle's on the way through. The Ling speed and the extra Lings all coming about as well. Just gonna be having ourselves the set continue to get going. We will be having both semifinals on stream today, guys. We've gotten to the semis pretty quickly, so we'll be going into the MaxPax versus Creator Best of 3 after this series, and then we'll be heading over to the winner of this versus Mana after that. So just to let you guys know what the dealio is, that's going to be our ordering of this day. So that's what's coming up for y'all. I was just going to see 3 drones going down. A couple of Adepts initially getting in there and seeing some success. Now some Lings coming across the map, and the Oracle retreats back to ensure that it can stop these Lings from getting across and doing too much. Oracle just going to activate again. A couple of drones already going down. See now, and Assimilate's coming up. Twilight Council, Nexus, all building through. Those gates continue to come by. And yeah, Twilight Council, Nexus, a couple of probies, all continuing up for the moment as the Oracles activate and a few Zerglings getting chased around the other direction. You guys remember, like, an hour ago when someone was saying as well, like, man, I really feel like this is going to be the 50th Clem versus Hero of the Week in the finals? How wrong we were! Is this a guaranteed, apart from okay, I guess Classic and Shin have both won the WardiTV Mondays before. Oh, and MaxPax, obviously, yeah, MaxPax is still in. As a guy would say, are we guaranteed a new winner? But yeah, MaxPax is still alive. Fair enough, fair enough. That was you. To be fair, it was not a bad comment. It's just funny to see how awry the bracket has gone from that point. A lot of upsets in one day. It's so funny because I feel like we did not have a lot of upsets in this tournament at all for like 4 months. And in the last couple of weeks, upsets are just all over the place. Those bigger tournaments coming about again, everyone playing a bit better. Maybe some of the top guys are hiding build a bit more. I don't know, but like things are getting disturbed a little bit in our typical online cup expectations as of late. Another upgrade coming through. The drones and a few Lings coming about. We have got the Oracles coming through as well as the Adepts are going to go for a shade forward. Well, it's going to be seeing a little getting catch on the Stasis Ward, +1 Blink coming through. Temple Archives and the gateways continue to build. Yeah, now a few probes continue to mine away. As the melee upgrade comes up, and the Adept's going to continue to chase in, going after those drones. That's some hefty lag spikes. That's probably on my side, because the players didn't say anything. 6 drones going down, the Lings try and wrap around. They will force the Adepts to recall, but keeping the Adepts alive is nice, because now you're not in any danger of the Lings counter-attacking. Those were definitely a couple of lag spikes, weren't they? Oof. Adepts and the Stalkers, yeah, going to come through. The Oracle's going to get rid of a few more drones. Those Lings going to run in, just going to see the Stalkers and the Adepts. I'm just going to get caught. More drones going down. I was going to say the Link counterattack shouldn't be be very potent at all, because like I say, the Adepts stay alive, and as long as those Adepts have stayed alive, shouldn't be too much more opportunity here, as we are just lagging. Terrain server not being our friend at all, huh? Jesus. Well, that's classic. Well, Queen's moving back around. Are we gonna settle down here? I think we might. Storm in the charge. Got a couple of towers coming up. Sorry, guys. I'm keeping an eye on the ping. I can only imagine this is only what we've seen, and the players would have forced immediately if they felt the lag like we just did. So, as long as it's not affecting the players, we'll stick it out for a few moments at least. Stop and knock down Cooling Tower. Flex Tractor's coming up. And the Lings and Hydras. Just gonna open the map up a little bit as well, knocking down these rocks here and there. I forgot to pay the internet bill? No. Blizzard forgot that StarCraft 2 existed, so their servers keep dying. Oh my god, he killed a Zerglin with the Rock Tower collapse. Insane. The insane value. You see how broken Protoss is, guys? They can even use the terrain to kill Zerg. Actually nuts. Am I going to be casting in Riyadh? I have no idea. I don't think they've sent any invites out yet. And if they have, then I haven't been invited. I got invited very late last year, though. I was like the last person to get invited. I also didn't cast last year. I was the second desk host, which then turned into the side of stage guy who didn't really have a job. Those Lings, by the way, Hydra's crushing in on both sides. Gonna see the Storm still trying to come through as well. Archon's taking damage, a couple of Adepts going down. Hydra's still stepping across just for a few more moments here, so again, looking to try and get a bit more done. Storm's dropping across all of these Hydralisks. The army continue to press through for the moment, so a couple moments of defense coming about, as Classic does keep Shin at bay. And it's a little scary for Shin, who's kind of just now hitting his hive tech, and we'll see what he does from there here in this game 3 of the series. Is going to bow her up. Well, Stargate's coming online. Fleet Beacon coming up. Again, the Immortal, as well as Classic ready for the latest stage of this game. There's quite a way to go for Classic to really get there, though, so there's still some timing windows open here for Shin. The Storm drops down, so Lurker's going to get coated in that Storm. Cannon's taking damage, batteries coming through. The Ling's going to try and catch a little bit up to the top side as they go running around. Going to get surrounded on Immortal there, but Those lanes kind of getting murdered. I mean, the Lurkers are the scariest part of this, but they're very much so on their own. It's kind of terrifying if Classic can get to them and clean those up. I mean, right now they're just hitting this base, and Classic's going to start launching the counter-attack even. He's just going to start going across the map. So straight across we go. Shin has nothing here because, well, you know, all the Lurkers on the other side, so it does not look good for us having a Zerg in the top 4. I hope you guys like Protoss, because it's about to be a PvP the rest of the day. Classic 2-1 over Shin, and like I say, we'll set us up for PvPs during the rest of this day, as we'll set up into Creative versus MaxPax. Alright, well, we'll go Creative versus MaxPax first semi. Mana versus Classic as the second. Let me just get this going. That's what happens when your name starts with a W, you always last on the list. I'm not sure that was why, but yeah, maybe it was. Maybe they're just like, yeah, Wardy really is at the very end. Ay. Alright, let me throw invites out. Everyone just logging over. Yeah, what's up, Casting Awesome? Thank you so much for the 55-month resub. Just getting everyone online from the Korean server, guys, so everyone's just hopping across. Takes a moment or two, then we can get resumed. Alright, we're nearly there. I think 1 or 2 more people still hopping over, but yeah, should be pretty good in just a second. I think everyone's pretty much ready. Alright. Let's jump into our next game. Sorry, I'm having some fun with mana in the chat. Let's get this going. You've lost your desire to create content after a 3-month break. Any advice? I mean, if you enjoy creating content, then you enjoy creating content. Honestly, if creating content is something you don't want to do, you're not going to make good content. Like, if you have to make content because it's like your job and you're relying on making money from it, like, it's already kind of a bad place to be, because content is such an organic thing. And if you're not enthusiastic about the content you're making, someone else is going to make it better than you. So either try and get back into it, or just let it come naturally, because forcing yourself to make it isn't going to be good for anyone. You might be able to tell, you know, some days I show up to stream and I'm not feeling it. Oh, I don't think the games are very good and I don't really want to be here. And the casting quality is way worse than it is on other days when the games are good and I'm feeling it and the tournament is good and stuff. So, yeah, it's a real thing. So, yeah. I mean, maybe that's not good advice. Just if you don't feel like doing it, just don't. But, like, I do actually think content is something you have to be enthusiastic about, so if you don't have that enthusiasm, just you just gotta try and find it somehow. I don't know how that is, though. I always feel very bad coming back to streaming actually after I've not streamed for like a month or two, because the viewership's always lower, the sub count isn't there right, etc, etc. It takes a while to get back on track. So in that regard, you just kind of have to grind it out. You just have to get to it and grind it out and try and stay positive, you know? Yeah, it's content creation and stuff is an interesting thing for sure. Cybercore coming about, get settled in. So see how Zealot gonna go whacking away. Next coming up, Stargate coming through. Couple sentries on the way. Both players are going to expand. That's going to be our early game. I love it. You know, that's also one of the reasons why, when I cast, obviously, I cast every single day, give or take, right? And that's why sometimes when I cast, I do not sound super excited by every single game, and I don't get enthralled by every little thing that's happening, and sometimes I just stay quiet and don't talk for a bit, because, to me, that's how I keep casting StarCraft excited. Like, it would be absolutely draining to cast StarCraft 2, and treat every single game, with the amount that I cast, to treat every single game, like this game is going to be freaking awesome. Because, quite frankly, a lot of StarCraft we cast on the channel isn't freaking awesome. We have bad series, we have bad games, you know? There are some days where every series just kind of sucks. It's a big difference. Like, a lot of people come on the YouTube comments and they love to say, man, you sound so bored, you should listen to Winter and take some advice from him. It's like, yeah, but the difference is when Winter casts a game, he knows it's a banger because he's picked it out from the hundreds of replays he has. And he's picked out that series because he knows it's a good series, and that's going to be his cast for the day. Like, it's very easy to be super enthusiastic about a series you know is going to be a good matchup, that is going to be really good. Like, a lot of the time, what's really funny, a lot of the time I put videos on YouTube, and the first game, I go in and I think, this isn't going to be much special, right? And so I'm kind of just taking my usual kind of chill kind of vibe, because that's what keeps me from burning out on casting every day. And then the games get really good. And so you can tell from the you know, from the start of game 1 to the end of the series, it's like this series really picked up, and that energy kind of comes with it. But there's like there's definitely a vibe of like, you know, casting so much and creating content so much definitely has like that kind of, you gotta find what works. And what works for me is not taking every game super seriously, right? Sometimes we get distracted, and some days I talk with chat, and some days, you know, I have fun with it, because some days I don't care as much about the StarCraft as much as I care about what's going on in chat and stuff, you know? Can I cast one game like Winter? Well, that would imply I've ever listened to Winter cast a game of StarCraft 2. Jokes. No, I honestly can't. It's literally I literally find it exhausting to put that on. I cast, you know, sometimes I cast with the passion and the energy, but like the game just has to be good, you know. Creighton Olsen had the passion? Yeah. Well, to be fair, Creighton Olsen was classically trained in the art of talking. Unlike all of us other scriptcasters, how were we ever to compare? You know? How were we ever to compare? Stalker's going to fight. It's going to be seeing the little bit back and forth. Having the sentries there from Korea is going to be nice as MaxPax is forced to blink away. What, you woke up and chose violence? I'm not choosing violence, I just think it's an interesting point of discussion. This is exactly what, to me right now, that topic of conversation is a bit more interesting than how this PvP has gotten to be Blink versus Blink, So, yeah, up until now, like I feel like that was something that was interesting me in talking and interacting with you guys. I'm not a StarCraft 2 caster when I stream, I'm a streamer. And for streamers, it's more about just doing, streamers is about interacting and stuff. I always say that one of the biggest things I learned was I used to meme about base trade TV, never talking about the game. But I actually got more viewers when I stopped only talking about the game and took moments to talk to chat and actually get distracted and caught up in conversation with chat as well, Like, that was naturally a viewership increase for me. And, do you want to cast like that every single day? No. But, like, that's not a bad thing to mix in, right? Not a bad thing to mix in. Creator with the attack ends up being pushed away as you resettle down onto 3 bases each now. And also, guys, I don't really care about the comments because, like I say, I think a lot of people make these comments without having the backing knowledge, which is why I say, like, for example, that comment, I think it's very fair that I don't cast like Winter, I think it's a very, like, and everyone does stuff differently. At the end of the day, some people must like my kind of awkward, kind of silent, doesn't cast everything 100% of the time in the game vibe, because you guys keep watching, so... Like, I don't know what my magical touch is, but we found it, I guess. Look at those probies going down. Stalker's going to fight. And we go trading against each other for a couple of moments. Charging +1, both coming up. MaxPax has that slight lead at the moment. Great has the edge in the upgrade timing. A little bit of a later 4th base. Overall, it's a fairly even game. A little advantage here, a little advantage there. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think anyone's got anything that should, offset them massively from the other guy. MaxPax again gonna be the aggressor, but I think Creator has enough to kind of stand up for himself right now. Hold this off. Push this back a little bit. Handling the situation well so far. Nice blink as well. Gets an extra Stalker at the end. One of the most famous German soccer commentators said sometimes the best thing a commentating can do is be quiet and let the viewers watch. I feel like that's really underrated in esports. I feel like esports commentary has always been about talking non-stop. Like, silence is seen as a bad thing, I feel like they're always pushing to, like, constantly fill, like, every moment of the game. Oh, Creator loses the base. Nice stasis. Oh, nice management of the stasis, though, from Creator. Lets that one Stalker set it up. Chasing nicely. Another stasis there. Walks into it with only a few Stalkers. Has to recall because there's units on the right side. That's going to be the end of his chase down. So I think Creator is going to get pulled about a little bit too much by MaxPax now. He's going back up with the top side. MaxPax doing what he does really well in later game PvPs. Which is just constant aggression, fights all over, pulling your opponent around and just having such good army control to be able to pull all of that off consistently as well. What's up, friends? Thank you for the 76-month resub. As come back to that in a sec, because MaxPax is pushing in for a serious advantage right now. He did well, but it is time to back away. Oh, what a stasis, though. Wow. Dark trying about to finish. Nexus coming through. Stalkers will get one more kill there as well. One more grab. Kratos catching up a little bit on the supply because he's getting a few kills here and there. He's still down a little bit. And yeah, as soon as he chases one position too hard, MaxPax is elsewhere. That's what MaxPax is so good at, that ping-ponging effect. He's just so good at multitasking these armies. He really is. At this point, I think, like I say, it's like every time it feels as though Creator is almost taking a step back in, MaxPax is just there to kind of hit him in the face and just say, no, you don't actually get to step back into this at all, right? Like, I mean, this fight I don't think Creator is winning necessarily, but when Creator has had some good chase backs, it's like 10 Zealots show up, or the counterattack happens, the base has gone down. And then instead of being able to capitalize on the chase, he has to pull back and deal with that. Stalker step up again. The Archon trying to get back to the front one more time. We'll just see the couple of sentries in the very front there taking damage too. The Zealots are going to charge into the natural expansion. 11 probes going down. A few more Zealots coming up. Plus 3 attack. Shadow Stride. Creator will say GG because MaxPax just had everything on the way. Has the advantage clearly in numbers, has the advantage economy-wise, and that is going to be GG. Attended a live eSport event in the Philippines, and it was obnoxious how much they were talking every second at a loud volume. Yeah. I always felt like there was something that was a factor. Alright, talk about coming from number 2. So yeah, I really got distracted on that one, guys. The sidetracking of the caster. I saw PvP for the rest of the day. I was like, perfect. What is chat talking about? Let's talk about that instead. Yeah. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do not forget you can hit the follow button on Twitch, the subscribe and like button on YouTube. And again, still pushing the WardiTV 2025 series crowdfund. If you want to check that out, exclamation mark 2025 in the chat. We're looking to raise prize money for the WardiTV tournaments this year. If you want to help us out, that helps us out a lot. And allows us to run bigger, better tournaments. Yeah, all the donations go directly into prize pool. We seem to be a little stuck at about $6,000, which is amazing. I'd love to try and push that up to $10,000. It seems like a super long way to go right now. But we do have about 3 weeks, I think, actually left to still crowdfund with. So if you guys want to help us out with that and help, again, raise the prize pool of our tournaments and help support the players that are making watching this game so awesome, because without the players, there'd be no point us being here. And do check out the exclamation mark 2025 command to find your way to that Indiegogo page. Where have the disruptors gone in PvP endgame? It's really difficult to get to disruptors. Disruptors are extremely just, like, especially in what is a very stalker-heavy meta as well, building disruptors is just such a risk. And if you're the one to build disruptors without having an advantage, you often die on the way there. And even if you do get the disruptors, it's not really as much of a guarantee as it used to be. People got very good at kind of playing around the disruptors as well. And kind of, you know, figuring out how to fight against them or split up your army against them and stuff, so yeah. Yo, Booked, thank you so much for the 3-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. And thank you, friends, again, came in with the sub before. Actually, sorry, I missed one as well. Wilhelm coming in with the Prime sub, 14-month resub, and then Franz came in and said, also felt as though the soundtrack and the game sounds do a lot of the filling. Yes, exactly. I mean, sometimes you can be a bit too quiet, right, and not talk for long enough, but too long, but yeah. Cybergore's coming through, probes coming about, Zealot's on the way up. One blink and bye-bye disruptor. I do just think people got better at kind of figuring out how to play against disruptors. You will see them happen in PvP sometimes, but like, it's typically a lot more back and forth Zealot Stalker before you get there. I actually feel disruptors are more of a like, oh shit, I need a comeback mechanic in play. Like, I feel like that's more frequently the way to kind of to go about it, you know? Yeah, they're just very risky to build. And they always were, but I feel like people right now are much more aggressive with their Zealot Stalker, and so it's even more difficult to get into them. Stargate on both sides. Next is coming up. Potentially Phoenix versus Phoenix coming through here is a real possibility right now, so let's see what will be coming online. As the Zealot and the Adept continue to pull back for a couple of moments. And the next is coming about, Phoenix coming through. He gets settled here for just a couple seconds. The Adept going to continue to move around for a little bit. Nothing crazy just now. The Zealot and the Adept just going to poke up, and this Creator put on a little bit of that early pressure. It is Phoenix versus Phoenix. MaxPax with the earlier second Stargate. He's very typically the first player to build the second Stargate when it's Phoenix versus Phoenix. As the Phoenix will get rid of the Adept, the Zealot tries to get a probe, and now the Zealot gets lifted and killed as well. That's the second Stargate from Kratos, so we will see ourselves moving into the Phoenix versus Phoenix. I mean, that's just really expected. Can't really not go Phoenix versus Phoenix here in the PvP when you both open with the Stargate. It's just not going into it is really just a bit of a throw on the side of the player that decides not to go for it, so it doesn't really make sense. That's the Stargate coming about, but Phoenix still coming through. A couple probes coming by, and those Phoenix gathering together for the moment. So just getting all of that joined up. And a couple of things continue to come about. Phoenix still gathering up. And Phoenix continuing through, just gonna see our pylons moving about. Now have ourselves the setup continuing. Shots coming over, and we have ourselves the pellet on the way through as well, so just bringing that up and getting that going. Clipping coming by. So next step of the Phoenix versus Phoenix starts up, which is just to get Phoenix range. Again, the funny thing about Phoenix versus Phoenix is that you're always just matching your opponent, right? So it's like, you're never really kind of making that kind of big play to like take a step above. It's just like, you're just going to match what your opponent's doing as well, and you both end up with Phoenix range because you both kind of need it, and you just go on from there and keep on building Phoenix. I mean, MaxPax, it truly is, I would say, one of the best Phoenix versus Phoenixes out there. Obviously, he was really, when kind of Phoenix vs. Phoenix was a big part of his game plan, when people did just try and expand against him. He was so confident pushing across the map with Phoenix. He's so good at stacking the Phoenix and microing them consistently to get big volleys off and to take an advantage as well. So just going to swing away at the pylon for a couple moments. And then Canyon Pulse just going through, so that Phoenix range coming about. Beacon going to be finishing that range soon, and until then, we're still just waiting for Phoenix to want to move about for the moment. There's a bit of a fight starting out. We already see the 2 Phoenix dead of creators and 1 of MaxPax, so MaxPax already doing exactly what I talk about, just able to take better fights than Phoenix versus Phoenix, which seems so illogical, but he's just good at stacking, and all of his Phoenix just fight at the same time on the same target, and they get the one-shots off, and he continues to do it right here. He's now killed 8 while losing 4. It's just a difference in Phoenix micro, and MaxPax is going to slowly win this game, because that is not damage you recover from. GG. Yeah, that's just a skill issue. But the thing is, MaxPax makes it a skill issue for so many people. You know, this is not like Creator was super bad, just MaxPax is that freaking good. That PvP was ass. Yeah, it was not exactly the greatest StarCraft 2 we've ever seen, was it? It was not. That's okay. As I was just saying before, not every game is the greatest game you'll ever see. Alright, we're going to get into the lobby for Mana versus Classic here in our second semi-final. Mana top 4, 2 weeks in a row. Crazy. Not being MaxPax is a skill issue? Yeah. It's absolutely a skill issue. I mean, like, he's just better at controlling the Phoenix than everybody else. Like, there's no magic to it. It's not like it's a magical being. Like, you know, it's not like he's like got 7 arms or something. Well, he might, maybe, but like, even still, he only has 1 mouse. You can't have 2 mice. 2 mice doesn't work. You only have 1 mouse on your screen. Like, he's just better at controlling the Phoenix than anyone else is. Do 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 do. Okay, we're so close to the mothership. Yeah, but I mean, so what if you can't keep your Phoenix alive? I mean, that's why MaxPax is good, because he sees the moments and can identify when he can go and take advantage, right? Alright, I think we're just waiting for Classic to join this lobby and we'll be good to go into this next round of PvP. Bam 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 bam. Alright, I think we're good to go, guys. Everyone's in the lobby, including our players. It's definitely a bonus. The only downside is it's more PvP. But such is life. We're just gonna have to be big boys and girls about it. Just deal with it, you know? Just gonna have to go and deal with it. Alright, let's go and get... just minimize everything I wanted to minimize on my screen and then just unminimize it. Oh god, that was amazing skill. That was the equivalent of like stacking all your workers in StarCraft 2 and then just clicking them all onto the same mineral patch 1 second after. That's literally what I just did with my with my screen set up. Amazing. All right. Right hand side, the red pro display here is classic. Taking on the blue Protoss on the bottom left hand side, Mana. Clement Hero lost in the quarters. Yep, this is WardiTV Mondays 35, the edition where all the usual rules are misplaced. But yeah, it's actually kind of nice to get some variety in. Always a fan of variety, so always happy to see that as Proby comes across the map we set up here early. We look to see what's going on. As Mana, yeah, 2 weeks in a row in the top 4, and he hadn't made the top 4 in any of these previous cups, I believe, so it's really cool to see. Mana's actually genuinely playing very well right now. He's definitely had some very good results lately, and especially in PvP, he's actually had some good results. Last week he 2-0'd MaxPax in the quarterfinals. Classic's had good PvP lately too, 3-0'd Hero in the finals last week. I mean, maybe these are the two PvP specialists fighting for the chance to fight against the old PvP specialist in MaxPax, who's still pretty darn good in PvP as well, to be fair. Cybercore's building, probe's coming up. It's going to see that probe coming down the bottom side at the moment. Stalker Sentry versus Double Stalker, so Classic just going to get that Sentry out to give you a little bit of scout information available to you. It's going to be working with that for the next little bit. And Sentry Stalker coming about, Wobgate coming up. And it's going to see our rover facility and Stalker and the Wolfgate continue to come about. It's going to see the Twilight Council chrono boosted along. So we're coming over, Wolfgate building. It's having ourselves the rover facility about halfway done at the moment. Next is still coming through as well. Model building up, a couple of Stalkers still gathering together, taking some positions here as we have ourselves. Mana going to be the first one to poke across. He's down a few probes right now as he's on that later Nexus. It's not really in a good position at all, right? Because that Blink is not done yet either. By the time he's going to have Blink, there'll be an Immortal up defensively for Classic. So what is Mana really going to take for himself in this game? That's going to give him a little bit of an edge. Obviously, 2 more gateways, so they're going to commit to the Blink Stalkers, but like I say, are they really going to be able to make the difference here or make something happen? I guess that is the question that we are eagerly awaiting an answer to, as those Stalkers will set at the frontier. Sentry Stalker Immortal gathering up on the other side. Just going to keep a peek at this and keep an eye on what's going on. Again, a couple of Adepts coming through, Stalkers in the gateway coming about. Immortal still coming around as well. Twilight Council and a couple of extra probies up and into play. The Stalkers settle outside the front of the natural. Just going to be seeing them step forward. Sentries. One sentry going down immediately, and now the other sentry's going to be in some trouble as well. The Immortal, the Stalker's trying to fight back. Good force field, and Classic is going to win the game. Okay. Wow, PvPs are bangers. So far, huh? Damn. Bang. Yes, bang. That was a banger of a game. Whew. You guys wanted me to do the fake hype Should we just pretend the games have been good? Shall we just do the fake hype excitement, like full send broadcast? Because now I feel like we've had maybe the players are just gonna feed off of our energy. Yeah, maybe it's time we just do we just limber up, shake it out. And pinged on Discord. Sorry guys, one sec. Hi, good night. How's it going? Thank you so much for the 38-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for priming us up. It's time for the absolute hypecast. Okay. Are you guys sure you're ready for this? Here we are in the semi-finals of WardiTV Mondays 35, the 35th week in a row of epic StarCraft 2 action every single Monday. No other place than right here on WardiTV, where you can watch StarCraft 2 like these epic gamers playing one of the ultimate races in StarCraft 2, Protoss, and in one of the most difficult, enticing, and unbelievable matchups that will determine their wits, skills, mechanics, and more, the PvP. It's so fitting, PvP. For a lot of people, that means player versus player. Well, this is not just player versus player. It's Protoss versus Protoss, and one of the legends of StarCraft 2, a DreamHack champion of age, finalist at WCS Austin 2018. He took Geralt to 6 games. One thing that not many people have done in a best of 7 against that Zerg legend. In the top left, the blue Protoss. This is the Polish legend Mana, who is going to be taking on, in the bottom right-hand side, one of the craziest players we have ever seen. Never forget that DT blink into the main, in the BlizzCon, trying to fight against the legendary Zerg Rogue. It is classic as he shows up, and he's one-up in this series as well, with incredible gameplay in Game 1. Never before have we really seen force fields and immortal building like that. I mean, this man, he's put up a Nexus. Let's just get this straight, what he did in that last game. He built a Nexus. Expansion in PvP in this day and age, it's okay, it's acceptable, but it's legendary, because it means he's confident enough to play off of 2 bases, which is incredibly difficult to do. You're going to have 2 sets of economies compared to 1 basing. 2 sets of probes in different places, more of the map to defend. Anyway, he does all this. He says, look, I am a baller. I'm going to play this game and absolutely not stop. And then he has the utter defiance to build a robo facility and just say, I'm going to defend this with an immortal. Can immortals blink? No. Can they fly around like Stargate units? No. Are they powerful? Yes, but it relies on your opponent to attack into a set immortal. But that was the brilliance of it all. Because then he had the sentries, and the combination of force fielding your opponent in with the sentries. My goodness, Classic was just in legendary mode in that previous game. Honestly, it's amazing to think that back in the day, online open cups were not ever really thought about as a big thing. Yet here is Classic playing his absolute utter best StarCraft 2 never seen before strategies in the WardiTV Mondays. How far we have come in online StarCraft 2. 2 adepts across the map, and he's just pressed the shade button as well. Got to make sure you do not shade somewhere you don't want to be. He is going to make the judgment call. He's going to let this shade finish up to the top side of the map. And now, clever move. He waits to shade again. What this lets him do, it's going to allow him to shade timing perfectly. Whoa! The pylon goes down. It's a split. 1 adept in the main, 1 on the low ground. What's going to happen here? I don't think we've ever seen 2 adepts get split in half by a pylon before. He's going to get 2 probes, looking for 3. Is he going to get there? Yes, he is. 3rd probe goes down. The sentry's nibbling. Doesn't matter. He's shaded out. And, well, he can't shade out, actually. He just goes to the front, but he finds a probe on the front as well. Adept versus adept. Adept chasing sentries. The sentry's trying to nibble it down. The damage is insane right here. Mana is taking the adept down on the natural. The sentries will kill the adept in the main base too. Sentry's going to get that KO for the knockout, but 5 probes down in Mana's economy will be scarred, going down, brutal, broken, and hurt. Can he recover from this? He's going to play the Oracle. He's going to fight fire with fire, or at least adept glaives with laser beams, as he'll have the Oracle to fly across the map and try and find damage. But the scouting from Classic, he says, I will not be unknown as to what the hell's going on. I will see everything. I'm going to hallucinate the Phoenix, and I will scout your base and use my just amazing game knowledge to see what you've got and adjust my build to whatever it needs to be. Seeing the Stargate, he starts up a Phoenix, and you might think, well, what's that for? Well, of course, it's a counter to the Oracle. A unit that can't fight air units is now going to be up against a unit that is designed to fight air units. Classic, making a magnificent move, so much so that my voice can't even keep up with it. My brain can't even handle the epicness of these two Protoss players. The hallucination there does go down, but hey, he kept those sentries in the Oracle busy for a few moments, and who knows, Mana might have spent a half second thinking about that hallucination instead of the next amazing play to be made in this game, and that's the difference in StarCraft 2. A game of seconds, a game of every single moment and every single just inch of StarCraft 2 screen happening. Pixels count for everything. It's truly just unbelievable. All right, Twilight Council on the way from Mana. He got a Robo. Is this just the build everything game? Stargate, Robo, Twilight Council? Mana's in a marketplace. He's picking up tech left, right, and center, putting it all in his bag, and he's going to take it home. Unfortunately, no discounts today. Mana's just going to have to pay that cost, as we do have Prism out for Classic. He's going to look for something here as the two Adepts. Here we go. He's going to drop one. He's going to drop two. Hits the probe. Oracle shows up from Mana. Look at that response time. However, it's low on energy. It's going to run out of energy, and Classic knows it. He's able to look at the energy bar and see that it's almost empty, and because of that, he drops the Adepts back in, gets another probe kill, forces the gateway units into the main base, and you know what he's doing behind all of this. He is multitasking, putting the third base down and taking that expansion advantage. Well, actually, he's not, because Mana's got an expansion too. Mana keeping up despite all of the pressure, but man, it's just been a brutal game for Mana. He's down 3 workers, he's down a ton of army supply in Classic with another Immortal popping. He will be later on the Twilight, but he's going to be faster on the Forge. Phoenix going to fight the hallucinated Phoenix. Another use for this Phoenix, clearing up the scouting potential, as we do see Classic with an awesome play right there. Wow, honestly, now, what is this? The Immortal just going to walk across the map to reinforce the army. Wow, Classic is going to full send. He's not even going to leave reinforcements at home. He knows he's got the army advantage. He has identified with his big Protoss brain that he has the opportunity to attack across the map. And oh my god, look at him dancing between stasis wards right now as if they don't even exist. What a point is an Oracle that gets played against so well. The Immortal shows up. It's going to start taking the attention. It's going to start taking the fight, but guess what? It can dive into the Prism. No, the stasis connects though. Mana with the spell casting of a lifetime, and the spell casting on the right side again. Stasis connecting once more. Have we ever seen stasis wards flank units like this? I do not know if we have. Classic has to try and relocate his army so he can potentially come around and save those units, but we're going to step aggressively forward. Mana wants that War Prism, he wants these other units. The Immortal will micro backward, reinforcing units showing up, including Immortal 2, and now Classic turns the surround into a surround. He is going to chase in with the units coming out of stasis, and Mana's trap has been sprung against him, as we are going to be seeing the Prism form. We see one Immortal die, but Mana has paid for it with his existence in this game, because he has basically no units left, and his third base will be saved again by a stasis maybe. Incredible connection. How did Mana know that units at some point may walk across this position? You know, we've been talking about Classic this game. He's a legend of StarCraft 2, but that's what the Polish Protoss Mana can do as well. He can outthink you sometimes and put stasis wards where you probably expect them to be, but he's so good he makes you forget about them too. Incredible stuff. As Classic, can you please win this game? Because I don't know if I can really keep this up much longer. This is genuinely painful. It's so close, but I just can't anymore. I just can't. There you go. It seems like I was making fun of the players, the audience. It's just being enthusiastic, you know? Being enthusiastic about the game, no? We made some great plays. There's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek in there, but you know, nothing that other casters don't use on a serious, in a serious way. No, it was epic while it lasted. Yes, truly epic. This game was so good it left Wardy speechless. Yeah, something like that. Oof. Genuinely exhausting though. I don't know how these guys actually cast like that sometimes. Can't work and listen to this. Yeah. It really is just against the entire vibe of my stream, isn't it? It truly is. I'm trying to make something happen on the return, but Classic did just do so much damage early. He put himself ahead, and it's looking very good for Korean Protoss, as GG is typed, and Classic will take a game 2 and win out this best of 3. Realizing what it's like to be me. Well, yeah. See, I'm very smart. I've I've garnered and gained and grown an audience which is not reliant on just talking incessantly and stupidly. It's a 200 IQ play. I've trained my audience to just enjoy nice, calm, peaceful casting, you know? That's genuinely a pretty cool game, though. Classic just getting in there early, and yeah, Mana was kind of in trouble. Stasis Woods obviously helped him a little bit as they're meant to, but that was about it. Classic MaxPax is going to be the finals. The most epic. You know what's actually funny though is like it's very rare you actually do see the adepts split up by the pylon or the battery block. Like that part was actually genuinely kind of cool. The fact that one adept got into the main and the other got kept out, that made it a little bit more awkward. Like that genuinely was kind of something you don't see every day. That part actually was a little bit funky. Yeah. That was actually very interesting. Crazy. And Robin stuff. Yeah, honestly, a lot of it was very interesting. I picked a great game to meme cast on, apparently. That's probably the best PvP we'd seen so far. Alrighty. Get into the classic MaxPax finals here in a few moments, guys. Get that ready to go, go, go. Alrighty. So, yeah, we'll get that ready in a few moments, because I guess some ads as well. Thank you so much, by the way, to Lazo coming in with the sub during the last game. Appreciate it. I don't know if that was a cry for help or what, but thank you for the sub. What you don't get is that you clearly remember Wardy Hypecast when the situation is indeed hype worth. I recall it many times. I'm glad you can, because when you read some people talking about my casting, it's like I've never been able to talk above this volume ever in my life. I had a cast once where I was like, I actually felt like I did such a good cast. Like, it was a really exciting game. Like, I felt like I brought good energy. I had really good game knowledge in this game too. Like, I really called out like a great set of like builds, and like I predicted what the players were doing, the ideas that were going on. It was like a very well casted game. Like, I was very happy with it as well. And there was like, because it was a very good game, it was like some hype moments, and I got excited, I shouted and everything. I was reading just the live comments and TL or something afterwards, and someone was like, man, it's such a shame Wardy's casting this game. He's got no clue what's going on, and he doesn't even seem to be excited. I'm like, bro, like, are you even listening to what's happening? Like, I just, like, this is the point at which I realized I was just like, people that comment on these things literally probably just listen to my voice for 2 seconds and then just mute the stream because they don't want to listen. They just presume, because it doesn't make any sense. That is truly a brain dead comment. Yes, it's truly a brain dead comment. Yeah, I don't honestly, like, I feel like especially at offline events, I do a pretty good job of being a little bit more hype, of like, you know, shouting and being excited when the game, requires it. Not every game does. But I really felt like it did, it's one of the things I got much better at over the years. Some people are just like, nah, Wardy's never brought hype to a single game of StarCraft 2 ever. I can't even recall Wardy ever not sounding monotone. I'm like, bro. Like, aye. Some people are just haters as well, though. Some people literally just heard me cast one time, and that's it. That's the only way anything could ever be for the rest of the time, you know? Remember when ByuN sniped all 4 Ravens in Solaris? Oh, I don't remember that at all. Against who? ByuN TVT. Solaris is a freaking map I don't even remember as well. Jesus. You guys remember more StarCraft 2 than I do, I swear. Against Gumiho? Nah. TVTs happen and then that's it. It's just done. And Katowice 2023? Nope. I do not recall. So TVTs are just like, in my brain apparently. I have some games I remember very well. I have some games which really do just disappear. Beon throwing the jacket into the crowd for 3 days. Is that 2023 Katowice when he had the jacket? I really wanted that jacket. It looked freaking cool. I told him. He wouldn't give it to me. I thought me and Bjorn were besties, but he wouldn't give me his jacket. He said it cost too much. I was like, well, fair enough, because I don't think I would have given someone my jacket either, but like... As a hardcore die-hard Beyond fan, I took very mild offense. Yeah, those jackets were really sick. Well, the depths moving around is classic MaxPax in this finals of WardiTV Mondays. What's up, Basica? Thank you so much for the 33-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Got my Castmouth logo for that series. I enjoy Castmouth logo. Logo's fun to cast with. I enjoy casting TVTs with ZG though, because we both go in with the same idea of like we're just forced to cast the TVTs and then. It's just a vibe, you know? Yeah, DVTs with ZGs are very fun. Casting day, for sure. That Oracle is going to get the Adept. Nice little grab, nice little catch. Cast a Beon Maru versus CG in that tourney, yeah. That sounds about right. I feel like Beon had some hope in that series as well, right? If I remember properly. Okay, you know what? Apparently I'm just not watching the games anymore. I don't even know what happened. I've got no idea. Classic just died to an Oracle or something? I don't even know. GG just popped up and I'm reading Twitch chat. Great finals come for me. You guys don't know what happened too? Yeah. It probably doesn't help that I'm not bringing any attention to the game. Oracle died, then GG. I don't even know who had an Oracle, to be honest. I just did not watch the game. Should we rewatch it? No time. They're already in the next game's already starting, man. There's no time to rewatch it. You can't rewatch things when MaxPax is in the game, because when MaxPax is in the game, the next game just starts too quickly. This is what happens when you get 3 PvPs in a row, man. Classic walled himself in, lost his Oracle with no damage, and had an Oracle in his main. Okay. Cool. So just everything went wrong very quickly. Cool. That happens. That happens. Alright. Well, epic start to this final. MaxPax takes the 1-0 lead in this best of 5. Jelly Jeff says the Pax. Classic in the upper right side. And try and bounce back in the series, surely. Like I say, sometimes stuff's just like that. You didn't realize this wasn't the Mana series anymore? Yeah, I don't even think I did play intros. Honestly, I did absolutely zero casting. Look, I said it earlier. It's very true. Some games just aren't that great, and today's not really it right now. The Wardy cast moments, ByuN vs Reno and cast Civil War. Well, that was a great game. Because that was a game where ByuN was not meant to win, and then ByuN just turtled the hell up and won. Yeah, I love that. That was a great moment. You know, so next month is my 10 years of streaming full time, and originally I was going to do like a streamathon week, but I think June is just too busy. I think we're going to do a couple of days where we just do long streams for a couple of days, and we sell out a little bit and stuff, but like we're just going to do like probably like a special little 2-day tournament, and then like we're going to just spend the evenings like watching some old games and like watching like WardiTV clips and stuff, maybe play some marbles and stuff, like just hanging out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're 100% going to watch. I mean, I know that wasn't the Cast of Civil War finals, but we're 100% going to watch the Cast of Civil War finals. It's like one of the tournaments, like probably the biggest tournament I ever ran, you know, and stuff. And I think Cast of Civil War is still the tournament I'm probably most proud of making, you know. So yeah, that's. I think we're going to do that in June when there's a couple free days, a couple long streams, celebrate 10 years of full-time StarCrafting. MaxPax doing the MaxPax thing. Just to set up the wall, set up the batteries on the other side. Spirit says Terran PTSD from Cast of Civil War. He had to play all the DVDs, man. But he came out in the most important match of all. God, that was honestly, that finals was such a perfect ending as well. Like, the grand finals, the ace player of each team was the 5th pick from each team as well. Like, it was just perfect. It was a freaking epic game on Blackburn. Cast of Civil War was genuinely an extremely good tournament. Like, that tournament was absolutely top tier. I think it was absolutely probably my favorite StarCraft 2 tournament of all time. And obviously, I'm very attached to it for other reasons. It obviously was not the same size as a lot of, you know, BlizzCons and stuff, right? Naturally. But, like, it was just amazing. Like, I really feel like we had so many great moments from it. Awesome tournament. That's going to deal with this. I mean, this is a big investment from MaxPax, right? You spend a lot of money on these batteries and stuff, and you've not really gained much out of this right now. Using the Adepts here to block the Adepts from shading in, which is cute. Yeah, we're just going to finish off these batteries and then get into this Stargate versus Stargate, Phoenix versus Phoenix play. The shield battery just healed the enemy Adept? No, I think the shield battery of Classic probably healed his Adept, no? I think you're just getting confused about the batteries. So I remember my quarterfinals was ZG in the Cast of Civil War. I think I remember the first series with ZG better because we lost the first series and I was absolutely devastated. I remember I was like we were like 1-2 or something, or 1-3 after it, and I was just like, oh my god, we're actually gonna, like, I was like, I feel like I've got such a good team. I do not feel like we should be down in the dumps like we are. I was so sad about it. But the quarterfinals, the rematch, I actually don't remember so well in comparison. Can't tell the teams apart. I personally struggle to tell batteries apart personally, but I think the rest of the units are okay now. I think this map has some weird lighting that makes it a bit more difficult too, actually. Maybe that's just me coping that my settings are okay. This always is a thing with batteries though, because batteries, like, you can see Classic's batteries here are like, they look blue because of the thing on top reflects onto underneath them, so you really struggle to see the redness of the battery. You know, like, it doesn't actually really make any sense at all why the battery is so blue. Why are batteries so blue, actually? Because they're copying, like, it's because they're so small, but they're made up of all these little blue bits. But, like, the gateway has these little blue bits, but, like, the gateway is bigger, so you can see the red on it. Like, it's just so much harder to see the red on the batteries. Batteries suck as being distinguishable. Like, Classic just win a Phoenix fight. Classic's starting to win a Phoenix fight. MaxPax is in trouble because his Phoenix are out on the map getting caught. Uh-oh. Classic may have just turned this game series around as he's going to tie it up 1-1 if he wins this game. He is going to take some damage back at home. He's recalling the Phoenix, so he will not continue across the map to capitalize. I mean, he will... Well, he should still maintain a Phoenix count throughout this game now, but... I'm always scared when you don't immediately kind of take advantage against MaxPax. It always feels like he's going to find some sneaky way to get back into it. I think the series versus Nate was more than expected. No, I remember it versus ZG because I think we played Nate, then ZG. And so we lost both, and I was like, when I lost against Nate, I was like, oh, that sucks, but like, I feel like I can pull it back. But then we lost against ZG, and it was just like, I just remember feeling my absolute lowest. I was like literally falling off my chair and like sitting on the floor while doing the outro. I was like, no, my team. I've waited so long to, like, because I never had a War Chest Team League team as well, right? So I was like so excited, and I was like, my team's losing. That was very sad. It's very, very sad. They turned it around though. You guys ever wonder why there's never another Cast of Civil War? I don't want to lose my, I don't want to lose my reign of being the champion. Classic came right across the map here, and actually does end up kind of equal on Phoenix, so it's kind of close. He killed a bunch of probes and still is killing probes with the few units he has on the ground, so I think it's looking reasonable. I see a few more probes dropping, the Stargate coming up, so we can get more Phoenix on the way. I mean, Classic obviously just has a worker advantage where he should always just be able to get so much more than his opponent here, so I think we are looking at a tied-up series, 1-1. Coming through in this finals. You think me vs Roddy was the best overall series of Cast of Civil War, you think? Honestly, Cast of Civil War was just really good. There's just so many good games. We're going to watch some of those VODs in the streamer fun thing. The mini streamer fun. GG says MaxPax, we're going to get tied up 1-1. Yeah, Cast of Civil War was just genuinely a very good tournament. The vibes were good, the plays were fun, the format was really fun. It was honestly just a top tier tournament. It really was. I don't even care if I sound biased. Incorporeal gave me map 3, by the way. If MaxPax got tired of the Phoenix War, it's no fun to play Phoenix when you're losing, right? The Phoenix Wars are only fun when you're winning, so, you know, understandable. Understandable. And down into this PvP. Make it sound like other clashes are fun while you're losing. No, I think specifically Phoenix versus Phoenix is extremely unfun when you're losing. I feel like you can have fun in other fights when you're losing still, but there's nothing fun about Phoenix versus Phoenix. So, you know. There you go. We'll go for Indy's camera again. You like how he needed to see the fully saturated third to surrender? Yeah, after he lost like 30 workers, he's like, I'm just gonna double check you weren't completely all in. When you're the better player, why would you play Mass Phoenix? Isn't it too gambly? Because your build order, you don't try to play Mass Phoenix, you just end up playing Mass Phoenix with your build order. So if you want to go for an expansion with the Stargate to keep you safe against a lot of other builds, and your opponent goes Stargate as well with a potential expansion, you just have to play Phoenix versus Phoenix. You will just be behind if you play otherwise. And honestly, the way MaxPax plays Mass Phoenix, it's not really gambling. He's very good at it. I mean, in this case, MaxPax got behind off the battery investment that didn't really do anything, and then he was a bit too optimistic being on the map with his Phoenix. I feel like this has been the most vetoed map along with Fantasy. Yep, this one has been super vetoed. I'm surprised it got vetoed so much, actually. I was talking about this the other day because to me it seems fine. It seems pretty reasonable. I don't understand what people are hating about it so much. But I guess we'll learn that over time, maybe. Probe's going to nibble about. It's going to go for a little bit of damage being done. Result, the Cyber Core coming through. Surprised Magnatha and Palin's getting a lot of. I think Magnatha's just big, and people like big. You know? I also wonder what people like so much about Tokamak. Tokamak feels very standard and just normal. It's just good. There's no, like, super abusive positions on it. You know, it just seems very fair to play on. It's not too big, it's not too small. Sometimes it's not so much about what someone really likes about the map. In fact, usually the maps that get played the most are the maps that people are very feeling middle of the road about, because the maps that people feel really good about usually get vetoed, because the other player's like, no, I know you're going to love that map as a Terran, or as a Protoss, or as a Zerg, right? So Tokamak is just kind of very solidly good, and that means it gets played a lot, if that makes sense. And also, early on in map pools, those are the kind of maps that kind of are very easy to kind of pick up and learn on, if there's no kind of super obvious thing to kind of think about, because then you can just apply very standard games to it, without having to kind of go and do the weirder things. I wouldn't be surprised if some players are kind of not playing on some of the newer kind of weirder maps. Not that they're super weird maps, but I would not be super surprised if some players are saving some of the kind of strats on other maps for like Dallas and so. So like the more standard maps, they're happy to play in online stuff. And then when we get to a bigger tournament, we might see some kind of different maps coming through a little bit, because then we might see some people happy to reveal what they've been working on those maps specifically. It doesn't really make sense to start revealing that stuff, you know, when we're a couple weeks out from our first big tournament of the year, you know? Best so far has been Persephone. Yeah, I think Persephone's a really good map. TVZ, it's kind of big for TVZ, which is kind of scary, and it's kind of weird, because, like, the Terrans have a really good push down it, and it's also just kind of large, so if you don't kill the Zerg, they can also take a lot of bases, and it can feel kind of rough attacking later in the game, so it's like, Persephone for TVZ feels like a little bit of a gamble, where it's like, it can be really good one way or the other, just depends what phase of the game we end up at, right? Which kind of shoves it into the veto list versus something like a Tokamak, which is again just pretty simple and standard on both sides, I think. That's the determined stuff from that there are no picks before bans. We had picks before bans in ESL last year, no? And the EWC as well, I think. I think it's started to be implemented. I think it's very fair that, I think with 9 maps, it's something that we can do a lot more, to be fair. I think, honestly, with 7 maps, picks before bans would be very bad, but with 9 maps, I think it's much more viable. I kind of like the idea of 1 ban each, into picks, into bans, into picks for, like, best of 5. It's too complicated for an online tournament, but in bigger tournaments, I think it'd be good. Like, I think 9 maps really lets you do that. Yeah, it's a little bit too complicated for online stuff, just weekly cups and so on. Classic going to break through here. Obviously, he's all in on the one base, just really needs to break through those Void Rays. The batteries are all pretty low. I'm going to get a few more volleys off. The Nexus taking damage. Getting rid of the Nexus is actually nice, because it would give you a bit more space to get on top of the Void Rays with. We're going to have to go for it here. We dive for a Stalker. I'm surprised he didn't hit the Void Ray there. I think that's a mistake by Classic. I think that's a mistake by Classic. I think he should have absolutely hit the Void Ray. He was in range of it, no? And it was the one with damage already done to it, too. I can understand getting rid of, like, the guaranteed gateway unit, but you gotta think that those Void Rays getting into high numbers really is going to be what kind of truly stops this attack at the end of the day, so gotta be pretty cautious about that and not let that go too far. Well, we get rid of one more Void Ray now, and Classic still has the good numbers. And we're going to step forward, we're going to go after that Void Ray, get some good damage onto it, but doesn't kill it, and we do eat the Prismatic Alignment a little bit. But things are definitely turning into Classic's favor, I believe. If he keeps this up, he's going to be able to finish off the Nexus. He's going to be able to really make a play for the Void soon again with a few more Stalkers showing up again. Like I say, without that Nexus there, you can step forward with much more ease. There's like a little bit more space for you to kind of move up. I think you should kill this battery. That battery's super full of energy. No reason to let that do all the healing. It's a super easy target. I mean, I guess it gets interesting now because MaxPax plays a bit more toward his main base, and now it might be more difficult for you to actually fight those Voids. But at the same time, MaxPax is losing all of the batteries, which have been keeping these Void Rays alive. So there's a really kind of interesting question of do you just go for this here as Classic, or do you kind of just settle down on the natural and just sit here. I mean, I think it's smart to just get rid of the batteries first. I think there's a more likely chance that you come out in a better position approaching it like that. Still set up, couple pylons and batteries going down again. Okay, Classics, MaxPax is going to start going across the map with these, yeah, he's going to start going across the map, which is very smart, because it's going to put pressure on, it's going to force a recall, and gives him a bit of breathing room to get the robo facility up and that coming into play. Obviously, we've got a force field that can keep the majority of these units out as well, and that sentry has a ton of energy, so, yeah, force the recall, we're going to recall back, and, yeah, the Void Rays need to be super careful here not to go too far forward against these Stalkers. Stalker's going to get underneath for one. MaxPax is going to leave because he's got the Void Rays caught. I mean, Nexus is also already finishing as well, so I think it's not a bad GG. Classic is going to go up 2-1. Classic is looking to win back-to-back WardiTV Mondays. It really is a crazy thing where, like, WardiTV Mondays have been won by so few players that it was a talking point last week when Classic just won one. Put into perspective, yeah, last week after 34 editions of this event, Classic was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 7th player to win one of these tournaments. Because Clem has won 16, MaxPax 7, and Hero 6. ByuN has won 2, and he's only just won a second one a week or two ago. If Classic wins today, this would be the longest stretch ever where we've not seen Clem, MaxPax, or Hero winning one of these events. Which is just, or even just Clem or MaxPax. No one, like you know, these guys dominated it. So yeah, this is kind of crazy. And what's even crazy is that some of those early wins as well, like ByuN winning one, Shin winning one, a lot of the other guys weren't even playing then. And also, Hero wasn't as much of a contender in the first, like, 30 editions either. It's honestly pretty wild. Like, the stats of this tournament, Classic is looking to be the, I think, the 5th ever player to win 2 of these tournaments, yeah. Because ByuN won 2, and he won 1 2 weeks ago. And he was the 4th ever player to win 2 of these after Clem, MaxPax, and Hero. So Classic, looking to do what very few have done in this epic trail of WardiTV Monday tournaments. Kind of crazy that, yeah, Clem, MaxPax, and Hero wouldn't have won for 3 weeks if Classic wins this. Obviously, MaxPax can still bring it back. He's only down a game. But it is match point. It is match point. As in the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player is MaxPax, playing against the bottom right red Protoss Classic. Didn't want to video any maps with torches, as a Zerg was annoying as hell, really. I've actually been impressed Torches had seen so much play, actually. I thought that map was going to get videoed into, like, non-existence in the ladder maps pool, but people are giving it more of a chance than I gave them credit for, so it's cool to see it getting some play. I had so much difficulty getting that map played during the TLMC event. Zerg, Shin the only win with Zerg out of 30 plus. Alright guys, I'll tell you what, how about this? How about we do a crowdfunder to get Serral to play WardiTV Mondays until he wins one? So we can finally have another Zerg champion. Also, Shin won, like, edition number 2. Pain. Pain. Why have I got hiccups again, by the way? They just come back. One WardiTV Monday. Look, if we could convince Geralt to play one time, it would be a hell of a day. Maybe by next year. Group D is just insane for tomorrow? Yeah. Well, that's what happens when all the good players keep asking to play in the same group. Solo was like, Group C or D? And then he was like, actually, just D. And then Shin was like, hey, can I play Group D? And I was like, well, Shin actually replied to me first. He said, can I play Group D? I was like, sure. Then Solo was like, can I play C or D? I was like, sure. Then Solo was like, actually, I can only play D. I was like, ugh, 2 Zergs in one group? That's really sad. And then MaxPax was like, hey, I can play C, I can play A or D. And then he was like, actually, I can only play D. I was like, oh, okay. And then Clem replied to me, he was like, hey, sure, I'd love to play. Can I play in Group D? And I was like, Clem, no. Buddy, like, Group D is too stacked right now. Can you play C? And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, now I have to find a final player for Group D who can actually challenge these guys. Otherwise, it's like, hey, would you like to come and get slaughtered by Solar, Shin, and MaxPax tomorrow? You know, so I was trying to go for the vibe where that was not the vibe. I was trying to avoid that, so I asked Showtime. And Showtime said he was down for it. I think Showtime will give these guys a good run for their money. Should make it fun. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun Group D tomorrow for sure, 100%. Looking forward to that. Why have I got the hiccups? I don't get it. Like, usually I get the hiccups like if I eat too quickly. I haven't eaten anything for like an hour. What's going on? This is like the second time in like 4 days I've had hiccups during a game. God damn it. Are we making the bracket afterwards as well? Yeah, probably. I don't think there can be any special requests, so I don't think there's any reason we need to hold off or anything, you know? On torches, Classic did proxy the rowboat, taking the prism through into the main. He's just going to drop the adepts into the mineral line. Wow. He's just going to try and get a bunch of probes, but he's kind of hitting this, that, and whatever at the moment, so not exactly going super well. Hallucination. Hitting that prism a few more times. Sculpting the sentries coming across. Prism gets chased away. And again, just going to be having ourselves the hallucination getting set up for now. You haven't hiccuped in years? Wow. Must have really good breathing or something. I don't know. Crazy. I feel like I said, usually I don't hiccup randomly, but this is a very random time to start hiccuping. And it's like the second time in like a few days that's happened. The other day it happened for like 20 minutes. It took forever to get rid of. Ay. Steps get through, gonna get rid of some of the probes in the main base, which is very nice. Both players have a prism to micro it, so obviously micro wars are pretty effective here. As Classic is kind of just getting turned away. I mean, obviously if MaxPax defends this, he's up a base and everything, so Classic kind of needs to win right now, and I just don't know if Classic has enough to win right now. Second Immortal being here, but it's barely that much sooner than... Sorry, third Immortal here. So he's going to be 3 against 1, soon to be 3 against 2. He's going to try and get some value with the Prism Micro, kind of taking the Immortals elsewhere and outnumbering his opponent a little bit here and there. Try and get some probes again, maybe, but eventually you're going to have to try and take this fight. So that was actually a nice little pick-off. It's a Stalker. Continues to get some good shots here. There's actually going to be a lack of units in the main base. 2 Immortals are going to win out for Classic at the moment. He's going to warp into the main base as well. I love it. Going to force the probes to pull through from his opponent. Needs to keep these Immortals alive, though. Going to lift one back up. At the same time, we're pushing the low ground, getting rid of the battery there. Classic still microing very nicely in the main base, and MaxPax is getting overpowered a little bit. We're diving the natural. This is very scary, because now MaxPax actually shows up with the Prism in the natural expansion to micro. The Immortal of Classic there will go down, but he is firing down the Immortal of his opponent. The sentries are fighting sentries. We've got a sentry showdown. As in the main base, 15 probes are dead, and MaxPax is only on 12 workers now. The robot facility got depowered. He repowers it with the Prism to get one more Immortal out. As we come into the main base in full here, what are we going to do? How's this fight going to go? Classic, can we keep this up? Immortal's still going. Loses one of them now. He's got to be careful. He needs to get rid of the other Immortals. They are super low. He's going to get rid of 1. He's going to get rid of 2. There's only 1 Immortal left in the background, and that Immortal is not going to hold on. Classic is going to go back to back. Something only 3 other players have done before. Our number 1 seed. Number 1 seeds it up and is going to take this down. GG's. Damn, that's heckin' cool. Go Classic. 2 weeks in a row. He is going to be your WardiTV Monday champion. That was a hell of a game. You know what? We actually had a bunch of crappy PvPs, but that game was very good. Nice. Yeah, we had so many bad PvPs, but that was actually a very fun, aggressive PvP to wrap us up on, so I'm happy. I'm happy. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all being here. Tomorrow, we'll be doing WardiTV May with MaxPax, Shin, Solar, and Showtime. And then we'll be off on Wednesday. So that's the next couple of days on the stream for you guys. So basically tomorrow, come watch WardiTV May. Anything else to say? I could sell out All right. If I sell out right now, is anyone gonna oblige to the sellout? Is anyone in the chat gonna say yes? I will subscribe if I do a sellout, because that will just, you know, if someone just says it, then I have a reason to do it. Otherwise, we could just pretend that we're not gonna gain anything anyway, you know. 200 IQ. I'm saving myself the sellout section. Thanks for the stream. No worries, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. Yeah, obviously Mondays will be back again next week. So yeah, I appreciate you all. Hit the like and subscribe on the YouTube. Hit the follow on the Twitch. Obviously, there's all the ways to support as usual. There's the 2025 crowdfunder too. So yeah, you guys can support if you do so wish. But yeah. Thanks for the talking and CCW memories. No worries. It's always fun to talk over the old tournaments. Happy still high for you. Love it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. You guys have a great week. I'll see you all tomorrow for the WardiTV May Group D. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to run some ads on the outro, and then I'll find someone to host up on Twitch, and I'll just turn the YouTube stream off. There'll be a YouTube upload in a couple of hours. I think it's Clem for the next 3 days on the YouTube upload, so YouTube will be happy. All right, guys. I'll see you later. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.